Ooh, we're really getting there, guys. It's a heat wave out in Arizona. Out in Tucson, Arizona today. It is hot. Very hot. Been hot all week. Been working in the heat. Been working in like 110-degree weather. What up, Justin? How's everybody doing today? Hope everybody's having a good day today. I've worn a fully button-down shirt today because we're taking the AQ50 later. We're going to catch up a little bit first on the news, stuff like that. Get some people in here. Hopefully get Selena back in here, who turned me on to the AQ50 test. And now I got to know. I got to know if I fall on the spectrum somewhere. I mean, I would imagine I'm not neurotypical, right? Got to be neurodivergent in some manner. I don't always feel like I fit in, you know? And we'll see. Maybe I'm just a normal average Joe. Who knows? Man, this Ezra Miller news. You know, guys, Ezra Miller's still missing, as far as anyone knows. Ezra Miller set to star in The Flash. It's Flashpoint film coming out. They're bringing Michael Keaton back out as Batman. It's going to be a big movie, maybe, but I would imagine they'd cancel it now, given that he's had so much scandal. For those of you that don't know, he's absconded with, not a minor, she's 18, but he's said to have groomed her from the age of 12 to 18. And it wasn't until this morning that I was looking back at, you know, just Ezra Miller's relevant interviews on YouTube. And some of them go back to him talking about The Flash almost a decade ago. That's how long they've been trying to get this DC extended universe, like movie universe, off the ground. And it really not working. And now they have a celebrity imploding. So honestly, thank God it didn't take off and he didn't reach a whole new level of fame where he could have done this to a lot of other people. But honestly, my thoughts and heart are out there for Miss Iron Eyes and the Iron Eyes family. I believe the woman Ezra Miller has absconded with goes by the name of Gibson now, last name Gibson, which is, you know, just everything about the story sounds tragic. It really does sound like maybe he's groomed her. We had some people, I think Arianthe, Erica, people wondering how the hell the parents could let that happen. But, you know, Ezra Miller was there doing actual, like, grassroots protest stuff. And I think that's how he ingratiated himself in that Native American community in North Dakota. But anybody sees Ezra Miller, tell him he's got some court papers he needs to sign for. He needs to be served. I guess they're not able to serve him because they can't find him. So wild. Hop on in the Discord if you guys are available. Come on in. Again, welcome to MURKradio. Welcome to the Hangout. Have you guys heard about what's going on with Justin Bieber? Justin Bieber has, it looks like Ramsay Hunt syndrome, and half of his face is paralyzed. That is a massive blow to his career. I thought maybe we could catch up on this a little bit, see what's going on.
Probably see from my face. I have this syndrome called Ramsay Hunt syndrome.
Justin Bieber gives a health update after revealing he has a rare facial paralysis syndrome. The pop star says he's leaning.
It's horrible. I mean, dude makes his money singing. You mean they can't catch the Flash? Sorry, I had to, says Justin. They can't catch him. They're never going to catch him. Back on Ezra Miller. I can't let it go yet. Trying to move on from it, use it as like just the beginning of the show, but that dude's just the worst. He's the worst Flash, honestly. Grant Gustin on the CW with its low budget is better than Ezra Miller with $1 billion. As the character of Barry Allen, anyway. So, I'm not too sad to see Ezra Miller hopefully disappear from these superhero films. They haven't excuse the turn of phrase, they haven't given the Flash legs to run with yet. Like he's not actually a fleshed out character in their films, so it's not really hurting anything to cut the film. And you know, honestly, I feel the same way about Aquaman. I'm sure Aquaman was a great film, and Jason Momoa is a treasure. Everyone agrees. But do we need Aquaman 2? Is anybody out there really pushing hard for it, like expecting it and wanting it and wearing the shirt? Because I'd love to know. What up, Widget? What up, gang? Hey, happy Wednesday, everybody.
Leaning on his faith through it all.
I think it's just my job to be a light.
Back to Justin Bieber with the face paralysis. I want to see all of this from Entertainment Tonight just to see what the hell. I couldn't imagine. You're a singer, you're a musician, you do modeling work. Now half of your face is paralyzed. That's fucking tragic.
And share what I've went through as far as my spiritual journey.
Justin hopped on Instagram Tuesday to update his fans, writing a lengthy post sharing insight on his road to recovery. Quote, "Each day has gotten better, and through all the discomfort, I have found comfort in the one who designed me and knows me."
Okay, so he's maybe turned a little religious, little spiritual awakening.
For those who are frustrated by my cancellations of the next shows, I'm just physically, obviously not capable of doing them. This is pretty serious, as you can see, and I hope you guys...
I mean, one of his eyes won't blink. That is severe.
...understand, and I'll be using this time to just rest and relax and get back to 100% so that I can do what I was born to do.
You give me...
That's kind of tragic to see the video, you know. We ain't trying to jam some Bieber jams, dude. We gonna get the video pulled this early. Not gonna happen. Not on my watch today. Gang. Whoop. Anyway, how you guys doing? Let me know how you're feeling. And happy Wednesday. Squid Game got a season 2. Squid Game got a season 2. I haven't seen season 1 still. So I'll let you guys know when I see it. I'm sure it's great. It looks like a battle royale. So I love a good battle royale. NBC exclusive. Amber Heard reflects on losing the Depp trial. She did an interview. Guys, Amber Heard won't go away. I saw you guys in the Discord talking about it. Let's check it out. Let's see just some clips of what she has to say post being found guilty of defamation.
To my dying day, will stand by every word of my testimony.
A defiant Amber Heard tonight also reflective on what her loss in ex-husband Johnny Depp's defamation suit means beyond her case.
I was thinking, if it's this hard for me, if it was this hard to be believed, I had mountains of evidence. I documented things that most women don't have the luxury of.
She's still hitting us with that bad acting. But man, no. Just no. It's over, Amber. I don't think it's going to work out for you.
Even thinking about
in the industry.
Sitting down for an NBC News exclusive with Savannah Guthrie, Heard said she never wanted to go to trial, never wanted the publicity or circus that surrounded the case.
Did you ever try to settle?
Yeah, of course. All I wanted to do was move on with my life.
She tried to settle. Of course she tried to get the money and just make it go away. It was probably started off as a threat anyway, and he called her bluff. Absolutely. Like, again, I feel like I can sense in her words, even in this interview, like the cash grab. Like, she's going for the money. You know what I mean? Yeah, and what they showed in court was garbage. Like, everything she presented, her mountain of evidence, half of it was perjury, is lies. You got called out by makeup manufacturers, ma'am, and you're still riding that horse. You know what I mean?
The sordid and salacious 6-week trial in which both parties denied physical abuse was every bit the Hollywood drama. Outside the courtroom, it was pandemonium and fodder for the tabloids, a viral sensation leaning heavily in support of Depp.
I think vast
Sure the hell was.
of this trial was played out on social media. I think that this
That's where she's wrong. See, she's disrespecting the court, in my opinion, here. She's acting as if the court didn't do what they could to keep the media away from the jury, which is their job. And I've seen no evidence that the jury had access to social media. If she's going to keep making these claims, she needs to take it to court. She needs to take it to court. That's an insane allegation, honestly. Like the level of disrespect it shows toward the judge and the jury and the people who showed up and did their jobs, the bailiff, like the guards who have to guard this hotel and make sure these jurors are staying away from social media, the people who are, supervising their entertainment time. No, Amber Heard. No, it did not play out on social media. It did for you because you got to experience that. But the jury did not, and do not assume that they did. And if you do have proof or some shred of evidence to take it to court. Lord.
This trial is an example of that gone haywire, gone amok, and the jury is not immune to that.
The jury decided Heard defamed Depp after she wrote an op-ed about being the public figure of domestic abuse and awarded him more than $10 million. Depp's lawyers say he won in part because he was honest and Heard was not about their roles in their relationship.
I did do and say horrible, regrettable things throughout my relationship. I behaved in horrible, almost unrecognizable to myself ways. There's so much, I have so much regret.
Some of that regrettable behavior recorded and played in court for the world to hear.
Tell the world, Johnny. Tell them Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp, man, I'm a victim too of domestic violence.
I deeply regret how I was and who I became in that relationship. More than that, I hate what that reality made me.
I understand that sentiment. I too have been in a relationship where I hate what it made me. But you're going to have to accept the things that you did. And it's not like she's not given the information on what she did. You know what I mean? She has she has a roadmap to help herself in this situation, and she refuses to still.
Tonight, an ugly reality
Blame the world.
that may be headed to a courtroom sequel, with the actress set to appeal her loss. Miguel Almaguer, NBC News.
Damn.
Thanks for watching our YouTube.
What up, Holtz? Yeah, you're on YouTube, dude. How's that streaming app going? Ooh, we got some new details on why Pence wanted to... What? We got anybody up in this Discord yet? Y'all feel free to pop in here. Boom. I'm being so laggy today. Ooh, this is from 2 hours ago. Amber Heard shuts down Aquaman 2 recasting reports.
Amber Heard shuts down reports she was recast in Aquaman 2.
She should be, though. I think everybody wants Emilia Clarke to play that role. Look, no, I don't think anybody... Oh, right on, Justin. No worries. See, there's no reason to keep Amber Heard around in that film. I've heard nobody mention her as like a standout there, why she went to see it. Hey, what's up, Graf? And like, not feeling it.
The worst is yet to come.
In the aftermath of Amber losing in Johnny Depp's defamation trial, reports surfaced on Tuesday that
that is the stupidest red carpet look I have ever seen. Is that supposed to be inspired by like a swimming cap? Wow, that's bad. Yo, she looked like she stayed in the swamp too long and became part of it. She looks like she's running for Swamp Thing, and this is a weird look, guys. Not even trying to try. I just, as a fan of fashion, not into it. Not into it whatsoever.
she would no longer appear in the sequel. But a spokesperson for the actress tells ET, quote, "The rumor mill continues as it has from day one. Inaccurate, insensitive, and slightly insane." E.T. has reached out to DC and Warner Brothers.
And here she's also doing that shoulder pad thing everyone's been doing where they look like they're Romulan high command. Like, why does she look like she works for the Tal Shiar? I'm moonlighting for the Romulan Empire. Don't worry about it.
For comment.
You were not replaced in Aquaman 2, were you?
They released me from my contract, and I fought to stay in it, and they kept me in it.
Aquaman 2 was a recurring topic.
She fought to stay in it, and they kept me in it. They shouldn't. It sounds like they've barely kept you in it, too, by the way.
Topic throughout the trial. Amber filmed scenes for the movie in March, and as part of her testimony in May, she claimed her character's presence was dialed back.
I was given a script and then given new versions of the script.
With less and less you. Because they want to recast you, girl. They're trying to get you to just leave. You know?
That had taken away scenes that the...
Graph, I bet you she doesn't even get 20 minutes of screen time. I would put money that she doesn't even end up with 20 minutes of screen time. All said and done.
That had action in it, that depicted my character and another character. They basically took a bunch out of my role.
The next day, Amber noted there's a chance her performance will be left on screen.
I don't know if I will even be in the final cut or how much I will be.
And the following week, president of DC-based film productions for Warner...
Justin heard she's down to 10 minutes in the last revision of the script. Down to 10 minutes of potential screen time. And that's before it hits the editing floor. So I bet you it doesn't... I bet you she doesn't... They can cut her out easy, it sounds like.
Warner Brothers, Walter Hamada, claimed that Amber's role actually wasn't reduced for the sequel.
The size of the role in the film that she has was determined in the early development of the script, which would have happened in 2018, I would say.
I mean, it sounds like they didn't like her from the jump anyway. So, I mean, they were already minimizing the role, and I know that she wasn't a hit with fans. Nobody's, like, calling for her. If anything, she's been a confusing version of Mira for the fans. She's got an accent in one film, she's in a bubble in another. It's weird.
So, and from there, beyond normal development, the role sort of, the character's involvement in the story was sort of what it was from the beginning.
The executive also claims there were indeed conversations about recasting Amber's part, but he alleges they were due to her and Jason Momoa's lack of on-screen chemistry.
There were conversations about potentially recasting. At the end of the day,
yeah, and even in that scene where they're not even showing the dialogue, like, he just does not seem interested in her at all, romantically. There doesn't seem to be any chemistry there at all. She doesn't seem like his type anyway.
I think if you watch the movie, they look like they had great chemistry. But I just know that through the course of the post-production that it took a lot of effort to get there. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's very easy. You just put the characters on the screen together and they work. And sometimes it's harder.
For the first time following the trial, Amber opens up to NBC News with a passionate stance on her testimony.
Do you stand by your testimony and your accusations against Johnny Depp about abuse?
Of course. To my dying day, we'll stand by every word of my testimony.
Despite the verdict ruling in Johnny's favor, Amber...
I mean, yeah, she's committed to the lie now. Backed in a corner is how that feels.
Says she
I would imagine.
blame the jury.
I don't blame them. I actually understand. He's a beloved character. And people feel they know him. He's a fantastic actor.
I remember hearing audio of you talking shit to him, though. You certainly made him feel not that way when you were with him. If you do feel that way, you know. Widget says she has the chemistry of a cold dead fish. She does indeed. She is kind of cold, wet, and floppy. There's nothing really going on there. She vibes like a groupie to me, and just given my own past, not into that vibe. Ooh, this is from Sky News Australia, and I can tell they're already gonna rip into him. It's Piers Morgan too. Let's see Piers Morgan.
Well, good evening. Bad news.
We know Piers Morgan's he's the worst, right? Like, can we all agree? Do any of us like Piers Morgan here? I don't think so. Raise your hand if you simp for Piers Morgan. I don't think I know anybody that does. I'm certainly not a fan of Piers Morgan. But let's hear him just again. What is it? The more Amber Heard whines and plays the victim, the less credible she becomes. Is the thumbnail, is the title for this YouTube video. So let's check this clip out.
News, I'm afraid to start. Amber Heard is still yapping. She's broken her silence. Won't last very long. In a new sit-down interview after her defamation trial loss to ex-husband Johnny Depp, insisting that he's the liar and repeating claims that he assaulted her during their marriage. Because we've heard all this before, haven't we? And the more that she whines and plays the victim, rather like that other American actress, Meghan Markle.
Yeah, if you didn't remember who Piers Morgan was, he replaced Larry King for a brief time on CNN, and he's here. He's on Sky News now. He's on Australia or the UK's Fox News. It's, he's out there now. Which is interesting that he's with this association when it's like I heard him fight guns with Ted Nugent. And kind of seem, again, his show in America did not do well. His show here in the States did horribly. CNN already is kind of floundering in numbers from what I've heard anyway, but he made it bad.
The less credible she becomes.
What up, Elson?
The most humiliating and horrible thing I've ever been through. And the vast majority of this trial was played out on social media.
Think the jury saw it?
How could they not? It would have been impossible to avoid this.
He says you start physical fights and you say, I did start a physical fight. I can't promise you I won't get physical again. This is in black and white. I understand context.
She can't promise she won't get physical again. Like, she's being confronted with her own words now in interviews.
That you're testifying and you're just telling me today I never started a physical fight, and here you are on tape saying you did.
Yeah.
As I testified on the stand about this, is that when your life is at risk, not only will you take the blame for things that you shouldn't take the blame for, but when you're in an abusive dynamic, psychologically, emotionally, and physically, you don't have the resources that, say, you or I do with the luxury of saying, hey, this is black and white.
But then there are other times, there's another tape where...
What even was that explanation? What the hell is she talking about? Hold on, I'm gonna back that up a second just to try to understand what the hell her response was. Her responses sometimes.
With the luxury of saying, hey, this is black and white.
But then there are other times, there's another tape where you're taunting him and saying, oh, tell the world, Johnny Depp, I, a man, am a victim of domestic violence.
20-second clips or the transcripts of them are not representative of even the 2 hours or the 3 hours that those clips are excerpt from.
He says he never hit you. He never. Is that a lie?
Yes, it is.
In the closing arguments, the
see, now she's almost getting confrontational with the person that's interviewing her.
Lawyers called your testimony the performance of a lifetime. What do you say to that?
Says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers.
When I asked his lawyer, why do you think you won? And the answer I got was...
What? What?
And who convinced the world he had scissors for fingers?
When I asked his lawyers, why do you think you won? And the answer I got was... because she never took responsibility for anything she did in the marriage.
What?
Did do and say horrible, regrettable things throughout my relationship.
Do you think that maybe he just had better lawyers?
I agree with Justin. She could put spirit science to shame with her word salad, dude. She's got some of the weirdest ways of explaining her actions. Like, her justifications out loud just baffle me endlessly. Oh my gosh.
I will say his lawyers did certainly a better job of distracting the jury from the real issues.
Do you stand by your testimony and your accusations against Johnny Depp?
Only your issues are the real issues, is her implication there. Like, she can't fathom that he would even have a problem, and so she's already out loud, like in this interview, going, like, unintentionally going back to the person we heard on those tapes who's screaming like, oh, you a man, complain of domestic violence. Like, yeah, you caught. Like, she can't even help but go back to that attitude. She's so much that person uncontrollably. I hope she seeks help. I hope she's able to rationalize and be able to put into a box what she has going on and take accountability for her actions and grow from it. That's the best case scenario at this point for her. Like, it's crazy. Oh, did Sky News take Heard's side?
Last week we touched on the media's bizarre reaction to Johnny Depp's legal victory against actress Amber Heard, and the response was incredible. It seems I'm not the only one who thinks the failure of journalists to appropriately cover that...
I've not heard anybody complain about that as an issue in my world. So, I mean, what, did you have to go dig for them and on Reddit or something?
That story was absolutely appalling. And this week, the strange coverage continued. Here is our taxpayer-funded national broadcaster with an article featuring a grovelling apology from a Tasmanian Greens leader, Cassie O'Connor, who committed the worst sin imaginable. She criticised Amber Heard. The ABC wrote, Cassie O'Connor, Tasmanian Greens leader, apologises for Johnny Depp defamation trial comments. Miss O'Connor used her Twitter account to show support for Mr. Depp and criticised Miss Heard and evidence at the trial.
Is that illegal? I realize she's a journalist, so it might harm her integrity, but that's her thing. I mean, honestly, I might press F for my own fucking career if it's this obvious of someone's guilt. You know what I mean? What?
She also raised the trial in state parliament last week, interjecting during a debate to criticise Labour MP Michelle O'Brien.
I believe Rupert Murdoch does own Sky News. Anybody want to Snopes that for me? Search engine that. Say it like Alex Jones.
Who Miss
Sky News.
Said
Arianthe!
Good at that lectern as
what up, dude? Ooh.
We're gonna take the AQ50 today. We're gonna find out if I'm on that spectrum.
Ooh, do you want me to do it with you?
Yeah. Everybody be here with the yeah, let's both do it.
I mean, I know I'm on the spectrum, but I'm not sure how far.
Yeah. And this is just kind of a thing that like is something you can take to a doctor, like, hey, what's up? Let's do some actual testing now. So let's see if it leads me to actually getting diagnosed with something. We'll see. That'd be wild.
That would be a conspiracy.
It might make a bunch of sense. It kind of is. COVID gave me autism, is what it is. It's I do feel far.
Ooh, you know what I read?
What'd you read?
I read that people that have COVID, there's something in COVID that destroys your serotonin receptors.
It has been. I'm telling you. Let me tell you. I was going through serotonin withdrawal when I had COVID anyway.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell, but that was rough waters during the hiatus. Like,
I'm sure, yeah.
Oof, that was some choppy waves. It was bad. Yeah. I absolutely believe that. There's also like what they don't advertise with COVID too, and I don't know, like there's there used to I don't know how to explain this. This is kind of an issue right now. Like my speaking, the amount of calories I need when burning mental calories feels like it's gone up. Like I really have to like have a snacky poo before I got to do a bunch of thinking, or I'm just thoughtless. Like I got nothing. Like
I mean, do you think that has to do with COVID, or do you think that has to do with the fact that like we're 30?
It could be that we're 30. It could be that I've just reached that, just the malaise of age.
I mean, I'm not going to accept that.
I hate it. Well, and I didn't feel it until after COVID. until after I had COVID. After I had COVID, I went crazy. I felt weird, and then I had a weird lip twitch for a while. Like I had some weird nerve stuff go on. Yeah, it was weird, but went away. You know, like might have just been stress. I was working a lot when it started. Like this weird. I was having like weird tremors in my face. It was weird.
That's really weird.
But I've genuinely had a bit of a different like way of thinking about things since COVID, which, you know, being that sick will do it when there's that much kind of like fear out there about it, you know. And when I got as sick as I did, like so I don't know. I'm a little, I know it did something. Like there's something about COVID that fucks your brain, and they do not advertise it. They do not advertise that. It does something to you. And I've been talking about long COVID with like the people I work with, because there are a few
those long haulers, man.
There's a few cats that I work with that, you know, along with myself, had symptoms that went for forever or came back. Where it's like we got better, we tested negative, but symptoms kept coming back. And
I have a crazy one. My best friend, he had COVID in March 2020. Okay, he was pretty early on, but he worked in a prison, so it circulated like wildfire. Since then, every few months, his sense of taste and smell will just go.
See, and that's a nervous system thing.
Yeah,
like that's not your typical viral thing.
No, that's not. Yeah, that's not normal. And you know, he's a doctor. He's a psychiatrist, but he's a doctor. Okay. And so he's like, there's something about it that no one's talking about.
It does something to the brain. Like my capacity has gone down a bit for like just things I can memorize. My short-term memory's gone to shit. Which again, that could just be 30. But I noticed a significant decrease after COVID. Like, it felt like I had been hit by a truck and it just wiped me. Like, it's weird to explain. Like, but I've definitely felt mentally different since then. And, you know, we had the lockdown and all that. And my social skills haven't been there. I've felt more socially awkward in the last year than I think I ever have. I mean, not since I was a teenager. Not since I was like going through puberty.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I've not felt like that in a long time.
Yeah, it's really awful. I mean, whenever my friend had it, he was on, you know, breathing machine for 5 days. It was really scary.
Here
we are.
That's crazy.
He still coughs. It's so weird.
Ugh. See,
from 2 years ago.
See, it scarred him up in a way that I think maybe some of us, like as we heal too, like these neural pathways are coming back, and we're able to reflect on how ill we were and be, you know, able to say, hey, they don't advertise that it makes you stupid. I don't know. That's the best way I can really word it. Like COVID made me.
I mean, it would make sense.
Yeah, like I genuinely felt like my IQ had dropped, and for. I keep my mind pretty active normally, and I've been pretty, like, I'll just enter a level of like on the couch malaise that I used to not ever get. Not since I had like mono. You know what I mean? Like,
sorry about that, by the way. That was Bush's fault.
Hey, you're good. I blame baby mama.
I mean, yeah. But she got it from me and I got it from Fish.
All that shit was rough.
It was bad. Yeah, I was sick for so long. I don't know how or why, but I got fucking slammed. Fish was like, yeah, I didn't feel good for like 3 weeks. And baby mama was like, I didn't feel good for like 2 months. And I know you didn't feel good for a long time. I was sick for like a year.
I missed the majority of a semester of school. Like, had to come back to take finals.
The year. It was I had to come back and take finals. I was gone for like the whole year.
My mom did not was pretty irate with them too, because they tried to, I think, hold me back because I was sick for so long, and they were like, she was like, no, I want him to be back too. I'm tired of taking care of him. He got mono, dude. His doctor will not let him go back yet. He is still contagious. I was contagious for forever.
Yeah, and then whenever you do go back, they're like, you can go back for half a day. I'm like, why?
Yeah. Well, and you know what they it's one of those things they don't advertise about mono is after you have it and you're done being contagious, you run the risk of appendicitis for the rest of your like half of your life. Like for like way long after you
My
have mono.
poor appendix was inflamed for years after that.
I suffered from lethargy because of the post mono stuff. So I would take like a nap after I got home from school. And it would drive my mother nuts. She just thought I was being lazy or something or on drugs.
No,
and it's like
man, you're just wiped.
I'm genuinely wiped. And if I was to overexert, it would have blown my appendix. Like I couldn't have. I
don't know if you did this because I don't remember. But when I went back to the doctor after, because you have to go to the doctor every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So I went to the doctor after the first 2 weeks of doing a half day, and he was like, "How you doing? How you getting along?" I'm like, "Can we switch my half day to the second half of the day? Because the first half of the day, I kind of want to die."
Yeah. Can I please just sleep in and then roll in at my leisure? Knock a couple hours out and just go home because I hate this. I hate this.
My ass was showing up to school the second half of the day in my PJs. I'm like, I'm just going home in 3 hours anyway.
I had it for so long that year, mono, that by the time I made it back to school, I was doing the half days just through finals that year.
Yeah.
Or whatever the fuck we called them then. It was like what?
Semester tests.
Yeah, junior high or whatever. So I was fucking wiped. Like I felt like I crushed it, but at the same time I hadn't seen anybody in like months. It felt like I think it was months. Like I was gone for a while. Like that shit was rough. They put me on liquid morphine at one point.
Yeah, I was on liquid Vicodin for a long time, and that's whenever you called me and I told you I was the Queen of Narnia.
That's right. I
remember that because you were like, when I came back to school, you were like, "Sup, Queen?" I was like, "What?"
That's right. Oh.
I didn't remember it at all, and you were like, "Yeah, me and Dalton called to see if you were dead."
Oh, I want to.
And you said that you were going to Narnia, but you were the Queen, and I'm like, "Oh, well, because I am."
It was a couple of years after that. It might have been I don't know. I want to say it was my first year at BHS, our first year at BHS, right?
Mm-hmm.
I had my first, I didn't know it at the time what it was. I thought it was just acne, but it was an HS outbreak. It was my autoimmune disease.
Oh, man.
And it happened on my nose, the top of my nose, but it had formed such a gnarly lesion that my eyes swelled shut. I don't know if you remember this. Like I was just gone for a period of time.
Yeah, like I do, yeah.
Because I literally couldn't open my eyes. Like I'd wake up, they were so swollen because of like just when I say pus, it's not really pus. Like with HS, it's I'll get like lesions and sores and stuff like that, and it acts like it's infected, or it acts like it's staph. Like it was like I had staph on my face, like is what it was like, and we couldn't get it to go away. It finally went away.
I feel like I remember that.
Yeah. And looking back, it's still like the older I get, the more I deal with HS, and it doesn't affect my face. Thank God.
Well, that's good, but at the same time, is it in areas where you're like, well, this is inconvenient?
Everywhere where skin touches skin.
Ugh, between the thighs?
Between the thighs, under my arms, in my groin, in my, sometimes behind my ears. Like,
oh, man.
Anywhere where skin touches skin and I might sweat and the sweat could linger, my body will just think it's an infection.
Oh, that's awful.
Attack the piss out of it. And I've been, it's like 100-something degrees here today. There's a heat wave index. Like, we'll probably have a rolling blackout at some point, and the stream might end because of it. But I forgot about that. I totally forgot about that. Short-term memory, guys. COVID makes you stupid.
Oh, no.
But
that checks out.
That's why I meant to tell the Discord I can't stream today because
rolling blackouts.
The heat wave is causing rolling blackouts, but it might just be for the bigger businesses downtown. They might just be purposefully
Let's just do what we can do.
cutting power to like keep the homes going. Who knows?
Oh, Widget has HS too.
Oh, it's awful.
Yeah.
Well, and I have a kind of a weird form of HS. Like when I go see a dermatologist, I have them treat me for HS, but my primary care physician is treated more like this like rare autoimmune disease. I have kind of an advanced form of HS, like a weird form of HS. It's rare within the rare HS having community, and it's weird. Like, because normally with HS you'll just see people. You have the acne inverse is the biggest issue, right? Like that's technically what the HS diagnosis is just a skin ailment, but it's so much more than that. And it sucks. Yeah. It's so bad. And it's like the internal things that mess with me more than the skin stuff. Like I've never really had acne too bad. Like at any time in my life, I had the one thing I just talked about where my eyes swelled shut. Other than that, I'd have the occasional pimple on my face. But it was never like rough, like it never was an issue I felt like I had to overcome. It was just as I got older, I started having what genuinely seemed like staph or MRSA. Like what led me to get
wow.
Yeah, like what led me to get the diagnosis was I couldn't walk anymore. I had what looked like staph going all the way down my leg. And it smelled like staph, it seemed like staph. It wasn't staph.
That's very crazy. I would probably lose it. I don't handle it well.
Oh, it's so weird too when you're at a doctor and you trust them and you've built this relationship and rapport with your medical professionals, and then they're running tests on what's obviously an infection. You know what I mean? Like it's an infection. It looks like something that is infected, and they're telling you that there's no infection present. There's not there. They've ran tests. They've ran blood. There's no infection present. It's just a high white blood cell count. Your body's just attacking itself.
That's very strange.
Yeah, it's a weird thing to like you.
Welcome to evolution.
yeah. Like you have to kind of. It's strange. It's because at first you don't trust them. You're like, well, that can't be right. Look at this thing.
Yeah.
That can't be right. I know what I'm looking at.
Oh, I would never. I would have such a hard time getting diagnosed with something like HS because I already have this really weird. It's not weird, distrust of doctors, because when I had an ectopic pregnancy, they told me I had a miscarriage and I was fine. Well, then I almost died. And so I don't know how I would ever get diagnosed with HS because I would just be like, you're a liar, and I'd find another one.
Yeah, and it's, honestly, it was baby mama that kind of, she was with me at home when I was going through it at first and tried to help, and Googled and found HS and the kind of different stuff, and she said, I think it might genuinely be this. And she waited until it was like they ran all the tests and were kind of at their wits' end, and then she spoke up and was like, hey, not trying to be the person that Googles stuff, but it seems like it might be this. My dermatologist and primary care scratch their heads. They walk out, they do some tests, they come back like 20 minutes later and are like, we've never had a patient give us a clue like that. We've never had a patient's wife give a clue like that. And that's what you've got, man. And
they're like, oh shit, she's right.
Yeah, they're like, she's on, you found it. So, it's a hard one to get diagnosed with. And it's when people start showing symptoms, it's normally around puberty, right? And it's in places like the legs, the groin, stuff like that, where you're kind of embarrassed to show it. You think you might have an STD, so you get tested for STDs regularly. Like,
yeah,
you do the full rundown. Like I've probably had more tests to make sure I don't have an STD than your average male at my age, just because of this disease that I suffer with. Like I thought multiple times, like this can't be HS. Like,
yeah.
And then the doctors do what they do and they're like, it's nothing else. It's nothing else. So it's got to be that,
Yeah.
What up, Allie?
Hi, Allie.
Oh, but I couldn't imagine.
That's fucking scary.
I couldn't imagine dealing with Ramsay Hunt syndrome like Justin Bieber right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
That's horrible. That
is awful.
Devastating to his everything,
Yeah, everything. Not that I think he's a super fantastic person, but I wouldn't wish that on anybody.
What do you do about the eye you can't blink? Do you put eye drops in it? You have to keep it wet?
I mean, you'd have to, right?
So does it just start crying sometimes? Do you have to put eye drops in it? It's not a cool question to ask. I realize that, but I gots to know. I won't lie. I gots to know.
Curiosity sometimes will get you.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something that I was wondering too. So if anybody knows,
Well, you know, because we
know.
I mean,
Something that I did Google is Rupert Murdoch.
Oh goodness, does he own Sky News?
He is the founder of Sky News, according to his Wikipedia, but sold it in 2018.
That
Dive on that side. My Aussie friend did a whole series.
that makes sense. Oh.
Here's somebody.
Oh, there's
Is that
Allie.
Allie?
That's Allie. You have to turn yourself up a little bit, lady.
There's the kitty.
Oh, look at that cat.
Oh, there's the kitty.
She's a little prawny still.
Oh, how's she doing?
Oh.
She's all right. She's a Klingon warship these days. Because she was traumatized, I guess, and I think she saw death.
No.
Yeah. She looks so sad. She's like, just hold me, mama.
Yeah, Justin just got me in the chat. He said, just reach up and blink with your hand. It's such a...
Shut up, Justin.
Justin. You might be right. You might be right, bro.
I love that none of us came up with that. Just Justin.
I'm thinking,
none of us were like, I guess you could just rub your eye.
I'm thinking eye drops, a whole ass extra nurse he's had to hire. No,
Right?
you just reach up and close your eye. That makes sense.
Yeah, you
actually.
just reach up and blink it. Wow.
AI tool.
Feel like an asshole.
Yeah.
Shut up, Justin.
Let's see. Allie, I got you up as loud as I can get you. You got any more volume? Can you
Okay, let me see.
Oh, that kitty.
a little bit slide us a little more than that.
She's getting there.
Oh,
look at that face.
It's a deep cat hug.
She's like, don't you dare put me down.
Yeah.
She's like fierce with the claws every time I try to set her down.
Oh.
Like that with her on now, everything. She's not afraid of anything anymore.
Dang.
Except for being put down.
Oh, yeah. And then her sister hissed at her and wanted to fight.
Oh.
Damn.
So my mom took her for a little bit and she's been staying away so that this one can recover because she's got stitches all up and down her.
Oh, sweet baby.
Her belly and yeah, I'm gonna get her in for a checkup tomorrow. She was supposed to wear a cone for 2 weeks, but that lasted about 2 days.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
It was gross. It was too hard, and she was kind of clawing it off with her every wall, everything that jutted out. She was choking herself. It was crazy.
Poor baby.
That sucks.
Yeah. So the battle with the cone, she won.
Damn.
Goodbye.
Sometimes you have to pick your battles. As long as she's not digging at anything and she's not opening wounds, she'll be okay.
Right. Yeah.
She's like, I saw the turtle that the galaxy is balanced on, and I am not okay.
I'm in the middle of the vortex of the cone. I can't handle it.
It's okay. Me too.
Oh, the known universe is balanced on the back of a koala, and he's smiling. What does he know? Sorry, Star Trek Lower Decks has a beautiful moment where a character ascends, but it's like it's painful for them. They're screaming. They're turning into pure energy.
No.
There's a koala smiling through a portal, looking down at him. It's
Aww.
it's hilarious.
You're gonna love that.
Kitty, especially now.
Yeah.
No.
You're just like Mama Possum.
Yeah.
I know. I just need a papusa thing.
You should do it. You should get a little baby carrier.
The baby pion.
I know.
You can at least use your hands.
I know. This is how I've been trying to type.
Oh my goodness.
The first carrier we got for my son was a boba brand, and
yep.
my cousin that got it for me wrote Boba Fett on it, and
that's fantastic.
I'll always remember that.
Look at this. She's like chokehold.
Oh.
Don't you dare let me go.
Yeah, she's serious about it.
So I had 8 adorable little baby chickens over the weekend, and I have one of them that is just like that. She screams for me. I have to pick her up, and she hides in my hair.
Oh, she's a baby
so
girl.
cute. She's
Tiffany
so
loves when I put
tiny.
down my hair and that she can like nuzzle in it. That's her favorite.
Yeah. Yeah, so she's just itty bitty, and what was kind of sad is she had her shell stuck to the top of her head, and so I was like, oh, I'm gonna help her, because I'm that person. So I reach into the incubator, I pull the egg out, I'm trying to keep everything nice and humid, and I kind of pushed the top to see if it was really, really stuck. Well, it popped off and out she came. And she just looked at me like, whoa. And I was like, whoa.
She's like, you're my mom now.
Yeah, and if you put her down on the ground, so long as the cat's not in here, we have to lock her up. But if you put her down, she like follows me around like a little baby duck. She's so cute.
You have to show her on stream.
I should. I have a whole box of baby chickies.
We gotta see the chickies.
Oh, they're
We did a
so
peep show,
cute.
like PG peep show.
I had a whole live stream going. Everybody saw like most of them hatch. I think there was just a couple that I was like, dude, y'all are taking forever, and I gotta go to sleep. So, so I turned the live stream off, and sure enough, I woke up the next morning, and boom, there they were, and I was like, of course you did. It's probably right after I turned the camera off.
Oh, nature loves to mess with the observer.
Oh, they're so cute, and watching them hatch was so cool. And the kids were like, "Oh my gosh,"
Oh.
And I had 12 in there. 3 of them weren't fertile. Figured that out the hard way. And then one of them only halfway developed. And my kids are horrified when I was like, "Yeah, you guys want to learn something?"
Yeah, we can.
And I opened it up.
Like this one did not fully fertilize, gang. It was.
Yeah, it got about halfway and just kind of stopped, and it happens, but I have 8 adorable little babies, and only 2 of them are males, and so I'm like, heck yeah.
That's awesome. That's wow, okay. So, okay,
That's
cool.
fantastic odds. I was looking at them all as they were born. I'm like, I bet all of you are boys.
Oh.
That's just my luck, because Derek's not going to let me keep 8 roosters.
I know the photos I saw on Facebook. I was like, "Ooh, well, at least that one's a girl for sure." It's like I saw one. I was like, "That's got to be a little." They were still kind of slimy when I saw them on Facebook because they were just popping their head out. But ooh, yeah, we got to get caught up. I gotta know. I gots to know. We got to see the chicks.
So cute. Yeah, absolutely. I'll have to take a video and post it in the Discord here in a little bit. They're in the gym.
Fluffy yet, or are they still like pre?
Oh, they're so fluffy and so sweet. I have 3 little black ones because I have well summers, and so I have 3 little well summers, and then I have 5 Rhode Island Reds. They're so cute.
Oh, that's adorable.
So fluffy, so silly. They love the kids. It's really funny. I'll put them in the floor, and the kids will sit with them and give them food and stuff. And they always want to hide underneath Lincoln's legs, and he's like, "Look at the baby."
Aww.
Really funny.
This is hella off topic, but guys,
Yeah.
are you aware that to the Met Gala, Kim Kardashian wore Marilyn Monroe's dress?
Like the actual one?
Yes.
Good Lord.
Like a Marilyn Monroe dress. The people who owned it and like the fashion house that dresses her for that event requested that she do it. She lost all this weight for it. It still appears that she's damaged it.
Oh no!
Because of course she did.
Of course she did.
Why did they put her in that? It's so weird they put her in that to begin with. It was
like an antique.
Yeah, it's kind of a cool idea, but also kind of rude to do to somebody that that is known for their giant butt. Like
entrapment.
Yeah, Marilyn Monroe was not. Yeah, Marilyn Monroe was not known for her giant butt. Like there's no.
I mean, she was known for her curves. Wasn't she like a size 14 or something like that? So I mean, she had curve.
Yeah.
But not big old booty.
It wasn't built like an Armenian butt, not what Kim K has going on.
Well, because it was not.
You got the best doctors in Van Nuys keeping this thing held up. I know, right?
I was like, I'm gonna be careful trying to say this, but like Marilyn Monroe had a natural booty.
Yeah, you have a lot of stuff going on with Kim Kardashian's frame here that doesn't necessarily fit a 100-year-old dress. Like,
They had to have known that, though. I mean, how? Even when I know that,
right?
Right.
Here, check
I'm
this.
kind of with you, Allie. Like, that feels like entrapment. Like, you're really going to put me in this dress that's priceless. It's priceless.
Yeah.
Knowing that I'm not going to fit this.
and you can't stop this booty type of thing. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like,
What are you going to do?
Yeah. Check this out
How are you going to handle that? Sorry.
from Inside Edition. I think they're going to show some before and afters if you guys check out this screen share.
Was the most famous dress in American history damaged after Kim Kardashian wore it? That's the question being asked today about the iconic beaded Marilyn Monroe gown Kim wore at the Met Gala 6 weeks ago. It had only previously been worn once before by Marilyn when she sang Happy Birthday to JFK in 1962. New side by side.
It's the birthday dress. That's right. I was trying to remember the event it came from. I was like, no, it was one where she was yeah. Look at the back of this dress.
Oh,
Of course it would. Why did they think this was a good idea? It was rude as hell to do to Kim, honestly.
Yeah, that's
dumb
pretty
as hell
bad.
for all of them. Like,
Yeah.
they
Like,
had to know. If we know, they know.
Mm-hmm.
Photos of the back of the dress taken before and after Kim wore it appear to show stretched fabric and missing beads. Maryland collector Chad Michael Morissette took the after photo during a recent visit to Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum in Hollywood.
oh,
The back
man.
side of the zipper, all the way up the zipper, the fabric is completely frayed and
When you talk about damage, is it irreparable?
they don't make this fabric anymore.
Kim has said
Oh, man. Why did they ask her to do this? This is their fault. This is their
Yeah.
fault. She didn't ask to do this. They asked her to do this.
It sounds like somebody wanted some really cool press, right? And just ended up ruining a piece of history.
Yeah, I think the Ripley's Believe It or Not people, maybe they have some kind of reality show going on or something and
Yeah.
some kind of Pawn Stars-esque thing and this is tied into it. Hopefully so, and hopefully that production is, being managed by the Kardashians. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would make sense that all of this works out for the benefit of honestly Kris Jenner, one of the slickest managers of all time.
Hell yeah.
So I mean, I
would love for her to manage me.
Yeah, I can't help but think that maybe Kris Jenner's like their production company is doing a show with these people or something.
Mm-hmm.
And are guesting on it or something like that. But this is
that she lost 16 pounds in
Look
3
at that.
weeks to fit into the slinky dress.
look, man, we didn't have Armenian butts like that in the limelight back then in America. It's a shame and I hate it.
Oh no.
It's a shame and I hate it. But because God loves a big butt. But
Like any antique, you learn about that as a collector of any antique, that you can't use it in the way it was meant to be used a lot of times. Any fashion, any decorative pieces, you have to know that they are more fragile than normal.
Well, and they lose their strength over time, their integrity over time. So I mean, you got a 100-year-old dress and you stuck it on somebody who was, sorry, Kim, she's not overweight or anything, but she's bigger than Marilyn Monroe was,
Yes.
And so whenever you take that fabric and you stretch it over a body that's bigger, of course it's going to break down.
She's got steep grades and sharp curves.
Yeah.
Yes. Known for them, like much like Marilyn, but for different reasons. Like different. Even if she got down to the measurements, again, that's a dress tailored for a different human. You know what I mean? Like if I was to get to the proportions of someone thinner than me and getting their stuff, it still might be too short here or there. I still might bust out an elbow. I still might break out the shoulders because I got broad shoulders. Like it's crazy. What
Like
up,
I
Deb?
wouldn't take my son's jacket and be like, I'm going to wear this.
Exactly.
I'm going to destroy it.
Apparel. It's like
So
it's
what's
built
the-
for that person.
Yeah.
So
What's up,
the
Justin?
significance of this piece of clothing? I just came in.
This is Marilyn Monroe's 100-year-old dress that she sang Happy Birthday in. and they tried to stick it on Kim. And I mean, they got it on her, but she just kind of looked like right. She just poor thing. I feel bad for her.
What the fuck?
Yes. Thank you. Right?
Yeah. Is a bad idea, and that's on them. They asked her. Like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, I hope she.
Like, congratulations, assholes. You tried to get good press, and all you did was ruin a dress.
Yeah.
And that's not on Kim.
No.
Don't be mad at Kim. That's not on her. Somebody asked her to do it. Of course she's going to say yes. I would say yes to wearing a Marilyn Monroe dress, knowing damn well my boobs and my booty are bigger than hers, you know?
Yep. Yep.
Once in a lifetime deal, I would say yes too, but you would it would be you'd be an idiot to not know that it would stretch out.
Yeah. And again, degraded fabric. Like, let's check this out.
Her struggling to get it over her derriere.
Do I need to put on another pair of shapewear?
That's what I'm saying. This is for a show. This is on purpose. This is
Once
for
it-
the drama. It must be.
Once it gets up, it'll fit the back. See, she's really lucky. Like, they're lucky, honestly, because she could sue them for this nonsense that it didn't bust open and leave her in nothing but her skims. Like,
right.
Yeah.
On the carpet.
yeah, like that is. This could have been a nightmare for her. They're lucky.
I mean, if
honestly.
anything else, she has a maybe not defamation. I hate using that word now that the Depp trial's over. But, she has some argument to be made of, she's getting bad press because they're so angry at her, but it's not on her, man.
No, not at all. Not on her at
Ended up
all.
wearing a fur jacket that covered her backside because the dress
Yeah.
didn't zip up the entire way. I'm here at the Ripley's.
Why even wear it?
Yeah, why are we?
Like, if it's not gonna zip on her, why even force her to go? Not force her. I mean, I guess she could have said no, but who would? Why even ask her to do that? Why ask her? So it didn't zip up all the way. So you knew damn well it didn't fit right, and you
Yep.
sent her out anyway, and
Yep.
now you're fucking mad.
You didn't get really crafted people to make alterations or anything, or even temporary alterations. You didn't get museum people to ensure the integrity of the fabric. They
Which
failed.
people
The
did
Ripleys,
that.
yeah, the Ripleys, believe it or not,
Yeah.
people failed. Like, that's them. That's on them. This is
I have no idea how much that dress is worth, but I would sue Ripley's for it.
so much. Let's see if they say.
I'm going to head inside and check out
What
the
up, Deb?
dress firsthand. It appeared the once pristine fabric by the zipper was stretched out, and some beads appeared to be missing. Also, the bottom appeared to be frayed.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's old fabric that she had to drag around because she's shorter than Marilyn Monroe, probably.
And that happens on normal dresses. You lose
Yeah.
you tatter the bottom. That happens on a dress that's new.
Yes.
So-
Right off the hanger that happened. So
Yeah, they're being the worst in
When
the press
Ripley's
with this.
brought the $10 million gown
think
to
it's a
Inside
setup.
Edition, it arrived in a protective box, and a Ripley spokesperson told us every precaution had been taken.
No, it has not. Just the
look
way
at
they're
that.
unloading it. This is, I mean, look, you guys can watch the Smithsonian channel and watch someone treat an artifact right. This is not how you handle an artifact, Ripley's.
they are. Think about that for a minute. You have to pick this dress up off of the statue wearing gloves, but you're going to go stick it on someone's body and send them to a Met Gala and think it's going to be fine.
But we're gonna half,
IRL, not a
yeah,
hologram.
we're gonna half zip it up around an ass and just send it out the door. Cover it and cover the ass in a fur coat and say we're good. You left her out there like a nurse gown, bro. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
That's rude. Rude, Ripley's.
That's awful.
No, they
On all fronts, Ripley's is responsible for now her embarrassment, and because I mean she's not going to tell people that the dress didn't zip all the way up,
Well,
she's embarrassed, she's upset. I'm sure she's upset,
Well,
she wanted
even
to be a part of something.
Yeah, she did want to be. Yeah, no, absolutely. But look, Ariana, the way they're even unloading this out of the bot, like on this mannequin with these gloves, that's still not the right way to do this.
No, not at all.
Like, where's the temperature control? Where's the fucking ensuring every fucking piece is there? Like, they're kind of treating it like a piece of shit anyway. Like why is it on a mannequin in a box? Why didn't you take it off the mannequin?
Why? Yeah, why wouldn't you take it off the mannequin? Therefore, eliminating pressure points on the dress in transit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's just gonna rub up against the padding in the box and knock more beads off.
Yeah, it's.
I feel like it's for show. It's for us. Like
Yeah.
this has to be a publicity stunt. You know?
Ripley's fucked up here.
Let's put. I'll wager a bet that they're gonna do a show with like Ripley has a new like reality show or something coming out that's gonna be closer to like Pawn Stars than it is, you know.
Yeah, I'll put my money on
We
it.
talked with our team to make sure that everything we did
gonna
was
be like, how could
to
we
ensure
know?
that the dress would
Oh,
stay
yeah.
in pristine condition.
I didn't even realize Ripley's was still a thing.
Right? They've been pretty irrelevant for a hot minute, honestly.
Yeah.
Since like 7.
Yeah, since Jonathan Frakes. Was that Ripley's? Oh, that was just Fact or Fiction. That was just a Fact or Fiction
Yeah.
show. That wasn't even Ripley's. Nah, since pre-Jonathan Frakes. Boy, yeah, since like 07. You ain't been relevant in a hot... It's not since Dean Cain. Dean Cain did Ripley's Believe It or Not, right?
Yes.
And she's back.
Wait, is it?
She had a water break, but she's back.
Isn't it the dude that did Superman, that show?
Yeah. Here it is with Dean Cain.
Yeah, he was Clark Kent.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Used to look like this.
He's cute.
I mean, look, yeah, everyone loves a Dean Cain.
Sure.
Weird flex for Superman. But...
However, they do have a real life counterpart.
Yeah. So anyway, that's well, I was hoping Selena would roll in. I know we're on weird hours for them.
Yeah. I give it an hour or so.
But I better start moving toward that AQ50.
Yeah, let's hear about that.
Hold up.
It's almost midnight though.
For some reason, Winona Ryder feels the need to explain why she's never been married. But look, man.
Oh goodness.
She'd be a lot to marry. I don't know if I necessarily needed that explanation. It's from 5 years ago. What the hell? What the hell, YouTube? I'm good. Quit giving me old fucking news. So bizarre.
I do love Winona Ryder, but I just don't care. She's not married.
Are you a fan of
explanation?
what?
I don't feel like I owe anyone an explanation.
No.
Here.
Do any of you like BTS, the K-pop band?
You know, I couldn't tell you a single song, but I do see them on talk shows sometimes, like Carpool Karaoke, and they're pretty funny and they're quite adorable. So I get the attraction. I get the fandom.
Yeah. I'm too old. I don't know them, but I get other boy bands, and when those were popular, so I could see the feel, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I'm not totally sure how I feel about them musically because I just don't listen. But they're funny.
My thing is, I know that they have to generate their record label an incredible amount of money, and I know the record label has been releasing statements just kind of calculating the cost of their hiatus that they're taking.
Oh gosh.
Like how much it would potentially cost them as a record label. And I wonder
but don't they have to serve in the military soon?
I think so.
Because, I mean, they're going to have to take a hiatus to serve.
Yeah. Like, I believe so it's, let's see if they get an exemption. Let's see if BTS comes back and has another record show up sooner than later, or if we have solo acts that happen here in like 5-6 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's they got to serve in the military. That's right. They're in a socialist nation, right? So
they are, yep.
They have to serve.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate. What the hell is going on outside? I'm so tired of the construction in this building, dude. Sorry, it's been so.
I've got a bit of sci-fi news for you. You might find interesting.
Ooh.
Firefly is getting a reboot.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, they're rebooting Firefly. Joss Whedon's got to do something, dude. I know a lot of people that'll.
Disney. It's Favreau. People that did Mandalorian.
Oh boy.
What? So Whedon's not involved?
I don't know if he's not involved at all, but I know that Favreau's taking the lead, from what I understand, or at least someone from his crew is taking the lead.
I know Disney is not a fan anymore of Whedon. Not since not since Age of Ultron was so lackluster. So I've been wondering what we're gonna see Whedon do. And
I hope he's involved in it because I mean that's my favorite thing he ever did.
Yeah, is it gonna be a reboot, a straight sequel? Are they gonna bring Nathan Fillion into it for some cameos?
Reboot, and they're not counting the movie in the canon.
Oh.
So Wash is still alive in the universe.
Okay.
Spoilers for anyone who hasn't watched a movie that came out like
yeah. If you haven't seen Serenity or watched Firefly, we've already lost you anyway. Man, have to have Nathan, says AT Garden. Widget asked if it's same thing as Nathan Fillion coming back. I would imagine we won't know till closer to the release of it, because if you're gonna bring Nathan Fillion back, just off of this chat's reaction alone, you got to wait till it's almost out and then use that as the big press push. Like he's got a cameo, or he's playing a different character, or he's doing this or that, you know. He'll be in it, I bet, in some capacity. Just to put that cherry on the top.
Find anything of like who the cast is or what have you, but I'm not seeing it.
I still think they dropped the ball not doing like a Young Shepherd book series or film.
Yeah, I think they could have. Joss Whedon's one of those that's always looking for work, so I feel like because of the kind of tumultuous end of Firefly, where it was like, I don't know, it felt like no studio wanted to mess with him after a certain point, and then Dollhouse happened right afterward. I don't know, he had a weird run there. Whedon's kind of an interesting dude to follow. But, I mean, he's got such love for his material. It's got to come back. I'm surprised they're not rebooting Buffy.
Oh, that would be fun, wouldn't it?
I mean, that'd be... I bet you there's 1,000 CW shitty pitches for a reboot of Buffy that Whedon's turned down. You know?
Yeah.
Over the last 10 years at least. But Firefly will be an interesting one. I want to know casting news as it comes out. I want to know who's going to play who, because
I can't seem to find anything about casting news. The only thing that I found was that it is a heavy possibility that it might be an entirely new cast.
I believe so, and here's my thought: who's going to play Tudyk? Who's going to play Alan Tudyk? How's that gonna work? That's a tough actor to replace. Honestly, I really like Alan Tudyk. He just is a certain type of person, and that's up to the casting director right there. Like, you got to find somebody who's kind of like Alan Tudyk, but younger, I guess. Weird. Do you guys know who Nipsey Hussle is?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
LA rapper.
I was gonna say Nipsey Hussle. Anybody? Nipsey Hussle.
I know there's a murder trial.
Yes. So he's a rapper, and it looks like murder trial is set to begin.
His alleged killer will stand trial. They are expecting opening statements this morning. As you said, the jury was picked on Monday. The alternates picked yesterday.
This is copywritten music. It's rap.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
It's a perfect example of Nipsey Hussle's raps. But you don't get to hear it on this channel.
You can't hear it, and now he's in court.
Yeah, he's hella in court. What is this Crip Blood mashup going on here? So he's a gangbanger for reals.
Why?
Then.
But like, why? You have all that money. Why?
Why were they playing so much of that music video?
Outside of the rapper's South Los Angeles clothing store back in March of 2019.
Oh.
It's believed Holder opened fire on the artist after an argument where Nipsey Hussle accused Holder of cooperating with law enforcement or snitching, which officials say in the gang world is a very serious offense. Both men were said to be affiliated with the gang in South Los Angeles, according to authorities.
Rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle. The way they worded this was like he was on trial for murder.
Remember this day when he was murdered, and it was a shock to the hip hop community because he was really trying to bring commerce back to the ghetto areas of LA, and he was doing a lot of good things to try to get sides to quit fighting and things, and so it was sad. It was really sad.
Things really started heating up right before COVID, and then COVID made things boil over too. So 2019, if that's when he passed outside of a clothing store, it's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. It looks like they got the guy, though.
Officials say Holder left after the argument, but returned a short time later and opened fire, hitting Nipsey Hussle at least 10 times, killing him. 2 others were also injured. A couple of days later, Holder was arrested and charged with murder, possession of a firearm by a felon, attempted murder, and assault with a firearm. He has been in jail since his arrest and has pleaded not guilty. Now back here.
Why?
Holder.
How are you going to plead not guilty to it?
I mean, that's...
in prison.
Like, why take this to trial when you're this caught and you shot multiple people and it was in the middle of
the trial is set
fucking street?
Just about an hour, and it could take a few weeks to get through the whole thing. Reporting live here in downtown, I'm Erin Myers. I'll send it back to you in the studio.
I bet you it doesn't take a few weeks to get through that trial. Surely not.
There being some confusion right afterwards about who maybe did it because there were so many kind of that really terrible background and potential suspects that were in that area. And I remember watching the funeral, and his mom or dad or somebody, it was one of his really close family members, was devastated, and it was heartbreaking. It was such a bastion for the community, such a a hopeful sign for the area. It's really sad.
Oof. Lizzo changed a song lyric. What's this about?
I love Lizzo.
Anybody heard of this?
And 3-time Grammy winner Lizzo is changing her tune. The singer is removing what's considered an ableist slur from her song Girls. Fire from the disabled community.
Oh, an ableist slur.
Lizzo apologized in an Instagram post.
Very cool.
Oh, all right.
Thanks for watching.
Well, that was a quick one.
What we would call woke.
Wow. Okay. Wild. 2 Austin chefs win the James Beard Awards. That's cool. Austin, Texas is really taken off lately, guys.
Yes, it
Still makes me nervous.
Yeah. Did you guys hear they're going to sequel Joker?
I did hear that.
Everybody's talking Lady Gaga's Harley Quinn. It's going to be a musical.
It would be interesting.
What do you guys think?
I'd be down.
Do you think it'll bring a comic book film a little closer to Oscar legitimacy?
I'll watch it, which I wouldn't watch any of the others. So that means something. It's more.
Well, number one, Allie, you should watch Thor Ragnarok.
That's the only one.
You should definitely watch that. That's just a good science fiction film. It's a fun time.
Thor's just Ragnarok. The first one was good. Don't watch the second one.
Don't watch any of the Thor movies but Ragnarok. They're bad except Ragnarok, straight up. Second one makes no sense. First one, they dye his eyebrows blonde for some reason.
The second one was just the equivalent of Goku running down Snake Way.
Yeah, you're just waiting you're waiting.
Weird, lame, boring.
You're just waiting for elves to maybe shoot magic Kool-Aid into a sky hole. And it makes no sense. Natalie Portman takes a nap through most of the second one. She's not in the third one.
You guys are really selling it.
Definitely don't watch that second one.
Don't watch the second one.
No.
The third
real fucking good.
You got everything. We got comedy. You got great sci-fi design. You've got great soundtrack. You've got Jeff Goldblum. Ragnarok is still just one of my top science fiction films.
If you put Jeff Goldblum in anything, I'll watch it.
Yeah, that's true. I'll watch him read the phone book for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
If you guys do a watch party, I would watch it. Otherwise, I'm going to be honest, it's probably
Sis, I'll totally do a watch party.
Yeah.
I came into Amber Heard stuff. Did you run through that already?
Oh, I ran through some Amber Heard a little bit. I think we were going through some Sky News on Amber Heard when you first rolled in.
This girl.
She's trying to stand by what she said in court. She's still lying to everybody. Honestly, she's not taking any accountability for her own actions, even though we've all heard.
Textbook. It is textbook definition of narcissism. If you don't know what a narcissist looks like, it's this right here.
She can't.
Everyone else is wrong, not me.
Yeah, and she can't fathom that other people feel things.
Well, yeah, because the only thing that matters is how she feels.
Yeah, we caught her in that post-trial interview that was just released.
Oh my gosh.
Falling.
How funny was that?
Oh, she was falling back into the attitude of somebody who would say something like, you know, oh, you think they'll believe a man was hit by a woman? Like, she falls back into that. Like, she can't help but be that kind of person.
Yeah.
It's gross. My favorite part of that interview, and I only watched it because, like, I had to, right? I followed it so close for so long that I have to hear everything now. My favorite part was, says the lawyer of a man who convinced the world he had scissors for hands. And I was like, bitch, who did he convince?
Oh,
Tim Burton?
So funny, so funny. No, we paused and dropped in the soundboard twice this episode on that specific quote. That specific quote, I got to hear that organically. That was nuts. That's ridiculous.
Says the lawyer for the man who convinced the world he had scissors for hands.
Oh, they had me. She had me.
No, he didn't.
She started confusing me two explanations before that too. Like, she had started I don't know, cyclically talking about how. Well, my biggest beef is that she's, and this is where the courts should get involved. Is she's going around functionally defaming the court now and our legal system. Here's the thing: those jurors were not influenced by the damn media. Okay,
if some of them were influenced by the media, which first of all I don't think they were. If they were, though, the jury would not have been unanimous.
And there would need to be proof. There would need to be evidence. There need to be an actual allegation she takes to court to say she didn't get a fair trial because she can prove that they had exposure to the media and that the bailiffs, the guards, the people who monitor their entertainment time at the hotel they're forced to stay at for 7 weeks. Like, that's incredibly rude to say about that jury, that they were influenced by the media when she has no fucking grounds. She has no.
They gave you 2 months. 2 months of their time.
Yeah, she has genuinely no.
How dare you?
You could just say the only reason they knew about the media was because her lawyers brought the media into trial. They referenced social media and media coverage as much as they did it more than anybody else. So if they were influenced, they were influenced by her lawyers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's no. She's what she's expressing in that interview isn't just that she is indeed the person we hear on those tapes and can't help but be. She's also expressing that she doesn't actually know how a trial by jury works. Nor did she bother to actually check it out. She's just broadly assuming they were influenced by social media. And girl, no, they weren't.
That just isn't how it works.
Keep saying that. Keep pissing the judge off. Keep saying that then. And the judge will
keep doing that.
Yeah.
Because what she's going to try and do next, and I don't know if you saw this or not, but she was just talking about filing a motion to conceal all the evidence that was used in court. Therefore, any of those recordings, any photos, anything like that, if anyone shares it, she will sue the shit out of you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's got to pay that $15 million somehow.
I say she's going to have to show feet.
I think so too.
Like, that's just where I'm at. I mean, if anybody wanted to see mine, I'd do it. Buy my merch, guys. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe.
That Musk money, I bet, it's that Musk money. She's just gonna milk, and he doesn't care. He's just like, just don't talk about me. Don't involve me here.
Unless it's found by a court that she illegally took his seed to make a child. She has a baby that was IVF, and here's the thing: she's not being open about. I know that she froze seeds and sperm when she was with Elon Musk, because for them to potentially have
He
a child.
did. That went to court, and he fought to have them destroyed, but she won. They
Yep.
never got destroyed.
They never got destroyed. So I'm a little, you know what I mean? She could end up genuinely owing him money over that. Over that. And probably, I mean, I don't know. We're kind of in the future here. We'd have to probably ask Jameson, but what does the state do with your IVF baby you paid to have created just to have something on Elon Musk? You know what I mean? Like, what do you do? What is what does the state do about that? Where does that baby go? This is incredibly selfish of her. Taking that path, in my opinion, like
Manipulative.
Well, I mean, if you
emotionally manipulative,
Emotionally.
it's an emotional subject. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want my opinion on it, and nobody asked for it, I think she wanted to have that baby so she would have something to be like, but I'm a mother, you know.
I'm a single parent.
Look at my baby. Because she brought it up over and over and over while she was on the stand. Her lawyers did too. Whatever.
She wanted to.
For life.
Yep, she wanted to play that single parent card. And it's like, girl, you literally paid out the nose to be a single parent, and you have the easiest ride of any single planet or any single parent on planet Earth.
Right.
There's no, sure. Even her excuses are crazy as hell. Another
and the way she grips onto freedom of speech is fucking hysterical to me.
Oh yeah, she sounds like the incels that pop in our chat sometimes.
Even in that interview, she was like, it's so much bigger than that. It's really an attack on freedom of speech. And I was like, no, it's fucking not. We've been listening to you for 6 years. You know who we didn't hear? Deb.
Yep.
Or can we just vote her off the island at a point?
Please?
I mean, that's what our legal system's for. And if she keeps trash talking it, they're going to take her back to court.
They're going to have to.
For doing that shit.
And I mean, she hasn't faced any fucking perjury charges right now, but that doesn't mean that the statute of limitations is up. Keep running your mouth, bitch.
Yeah.
Keep going. Let's see how fast we perjure you.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare of a client. Like, no one can handle her. Or a friend, or a family member. What if you just had to know her accidentally? You know?
Exactly. All right,
Kathy
gang.
Griffin's pretty excited about it, but that would suck.
Oh, yeah. All right, guys, we're at the halfway mark. I got to take a quick break ski. We'll be right back.
Okay.
I'm
going to grab a drink.
Heck yeah. I'll see you guys in just a second.
Deuce.
And you guys out there in digital world, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. I'll be right back. Just stay here. Stay here with me, guys. What's up, guys? I'm back. And I'm back in the Discord. Oh my goodness.
You scared the shit out of me.
I had to take a quick break ski. I'm back.
Scared me.
Had to grab some tea, had to use the restroom.
I jumped.
But it's about AQ50 time. Yes. I want to make sure I have enough time to do this, and I hope it analyzes the test for me. I didn't do any prep for this. You know what I mean? Other than pull up a tab, and I didn't actually see if I have to pay for the results or anything like that. So we could waste all this time and it be kind of a scam or something. I don't know. We'll see. But it looks like I found a good source for this test. And
Is it the psychologytools.com?
It's embraceautism.com.
Oh.
Autism Spectrum Quotient. And let's see here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it seems like, this was one that was published in 2001 and then continuously updated, and it's for people who are 16 and over. And it's, I believe it's one crafted by a specific doctor, Dr. Natalie Engelbrecht, RP, ND, and let's start this ish.
We'll do it together.
I prefer to do things with others rather than on my own. Oh yeah.
No.
I 100% do stuff on my own a lot though. Like I kind of prefer. I'm kind of a control freak. You guys know that.
That's why I can't do it with other people.
I prefer to do things the same way over and over again.
Yes.
I slightly agree. I do have to have change though.
Yes, I was fixing to say I'm really bad ADHD, so while I will stick to things that I am familiar with, like I'll watch the same movies, same shows, whatever, I have to change things up, which is why I manically rearrange my house all the time.
Yeah. If I try to imagine something, I find it very easy to create a picture in my mind. Oh, definitely agree. I have a very visual mind.
Some people don't have that.
Some people don't. Some people, absolutely. Like they have no mental visualization or anything like that. And I would imagine the world's a little bit like you have a whole different way that you've had to kind of integrate your creativeness into. I don't know. I feel like surely it's a little bit of a disadvantage if you're in a visual form or you craft for a digital or a visual form.
Yeah.
It's got to be tough.
I have also heard people say that they don't have an internal monologue, like they don't hear their own voice in their head, and I don't get it.
Oh yeah, that one always surprises me too.
I always like asking people, anyone in the chat, do you guys hear your own voice in your head? Is that just me?
Yeah. I frequently get so strongly absorbed in one thing that I lose sight of other things. Definitely agree.
100% agree.
Target fixated to the max right here.
Hyper focused.
I often notice small sounds when others do not. Yeah, definitely agree with that. I'm a bit of a production nerd though, so I feel like that could go either way. But I have been having I've been overwhelmed with sound lately. But I work in a music venue, so I've got earplugs, things like that. But I've definitely been experiencing some stuff I didn't experience before COVID when it comes to volume in a room. Everything has been slowly creeping to the same volume, and that concerns me. That wasn't there when I was younger, I swear. I usually notice car number plates or similar things of information. Slightly disagree. I might remember the last 3 of your shit if you did something, but that's normally like it has to be. I have to kind of really remind myself.
I'll remember the whole thing forever if you piss me off.
Yeah, I might. I might. Other people frequently tell me that what I've said is impolite, even though I think it is polite.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agree. Sometimes I have to turn to Derek and be like, hey, does this sound shitty? And I'll say it, and he's like, yeah, no, definitely reword that.
Yeah, I feel like I do it more to myself than other people have done it to me, but I do ask specifically myself that question a lot. after I've said something, and
Right. It's always afterwards when people are pissed that you're like, what did I do?
why did I say that? That's
Yeah.
When I'm reading a story, I can easily imagine what the characters might look like. Yeah, definitely agree. If you've given me descriptors, everything but homegirl from Twilight. They never describe her as a character.
It's not until the movie that you realize it's just lip tucks and hair pushes.
I am fascinated by dates. I can barely remember, honestly, a specific date. I'm not really I love history, but I couldn't tell you the day the Battle of Waterloo took place, like some people can.
No, I definitely couldn't do that. But if I'm hyperfixated on something enough, I'll remember like weird shit. Like, say it's whatever date, I'll be like, oh yeah, it's National Donut Day.
Yeah. In a social group, I can easily keep track of several different people's conversations. No.
Yes, but I lose track of my own because I can hear everybody and I'm listening to everyone, and then I stare at the person I'm talking to and just listen to everyone else because I don't know what the fuck we're talking about anymore.
I feel like
That's why I was always so awkward at shows, because there were so many conversations going on around me. Couldn't actually interact in the conversation I was in.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. When I was younger, I didn't have this issue, but I was a drug addict, so I could kind of bounce around. I was always on something or something to take me up or down. So I like to be with just one group of people. We're going to have a tiny conversation at a table away from everything else. I'm a pretty spooky person now, pretty quiet, if you meet me in real life. I find social situations easy, definitely disagree.
I'm the opposite.
Yeah, I've kind of become, I'm an introvert. I'm a hermit. I'm incredibly uncomfortable with big groups of people, particularly now, post-COVID.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people make me nervous, but not in a way where it's like I just don't like being around a lot of people. It's just a lot of people make me nervous because people are unpredictable.
Yeah. Let me see down here. Okay, cool. It does have a score button. It better actually give us a score when we get through this. I was like, I'm a few questions in. I better check. I tend to notice details that others do not. I'm going to hit definitely agree for myself. Here's the thing. You guys have said out there in the chat that I do this. That's just an observation. That's
Selena's here.
Selena, get up in here. I'm taking it.
We were just doing this for you, but you were gone.
Oh, heck yes, Selena. Yeah, no, this is you've got me on a whole trail of my mental health now. I gotta know. I gotta know where I fall on the spectrum. If I do, what I need to maybe approach a doctor with. But you guys have said out there that I'll notice details others don't. There's times I miss details that some of you outliers will notice, but that's something I've heard about myself, is there's details I'll notice that others don't, and that's, I feel like, why I'm good as a handyman. Like, there's just times I walk around seemingly like I'm Fonzie, just kind of hitting something and it starts working. Even at the place I'm at now, it's like I just like flick something and it's like the engine starts back up or whatever, and it's like, okay. It's because I'm observant with things that are malfunctioning. I like to take things apart, put them back together. And I've
learned that if the light in my hallway goes out, I know the spot in the wall I need to hit it to turn it back on now.
See, yeah. You're like, I know where this short is. Back on. To know something broadly is to apply it to all things. And observation is one of those that I genuinely try to apply to all things. I try to be an observer first before I speak. Like I've already said during this test, I don't do that all the time. I speak from the top of from my heart to my mouth frequently, and sometimes it sounds rude. But
not always a good plan.
Yeah, but for the most part, that's kind of a philosophy I live by. That's my test to myself every day is observe, then give your reaction. Observe, like take things in, be the the viewer of pretty scenes, be the taster of great food, be, the listener of great music. It's kind of a humbling thing for me too, because I'll get egocentric, and it's like I observe the world. I spend a lot of time when I'm not streaming walking around or just being silent and watching. I like to people watch. I'm quiet in social settings because I'm trying to observe the dynamic that's already there, so I don't disrupt it or cause anyone discomfort. So yeah, I just feel like I'll notice details. Yeah, and there's times too where it's like I'll have heard a week's worth of conversations at work with someone I've never spoken to, and then when I talk to them, it's clear. I've obviously made them a little uncomfortable with how much I've just kind of observed about them. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to seem weird. Like you mentioned this or that. Do you have kidney problems? Like, yeah, I got a kidney issue. It's stuff like that where it's, things that are normally relatable to my experience, but I will notice it. I would rather go to a library than a party. This one's tough for me, because I'm both of those people. Where I desperately don't want to be around people most of the time. I genuinely don't like, outside of really the people I'm keeping in contact with in this channel, you, Arianthe, Justin, Alan, like I don't really feel like I fit in most situations. That's me doing that. That's not other people. That's my own introversion. And sometimes it's overwhelming. Sometimes it forces me inside for months, and I've gotten better about that. And now I work in a field where it's genuinely helpful when I'm working like triple shifts, because it's like I'm around people. I'm doing social things. I'm networking. I'm talking, and so. But I'm both people. I have to socially charge. So if I'm socially charged up and I miss people, I want to go to the party more than the library. But I'd have to say, like, my resting gear, now that I've kind of said this out loud, might be I'd rather go to the library. Now, before drugs happened in my life, Arianthe, shortly after we had met, when I was still living in Springdale, sure you remember this, when I wasn't talking to you and Dalton on the phone, I was riding my bike around Springdale at the library or at the park, or really by myself. I was alone in Springdale, and that was some of the happiest times in my life, was still having friends and connections, but also having a level of solitude that I had never really had before. I always lived in kind of close, cramped quarters, or if we did have our own rooms, my sister was obnoxious. I always felt like tight or, poor and tough. So I am somebody who values his solitude. So I'm going to definitely agree with the library to the party, I think. That's such a thing that's hard to explain about me, though, because while I do miss people, and then that's what takes me to the party. When I was a drug, when I was bad on drugs, what took me to the party was FOMO, fear of missing out, fear of not getting the cool drug or the this or that. And so but that's not genuine. That's not me. That's my illness speaking. So but me I've seen myself sober now and what I prefer to do, and I'm a pretty boring dude. You know what I mean? Like I'm a pretty boring guy. I record music by myself. I don't, when I go out, it's with Lux now, and it's normally somewhere that we work. Like if we're going to a bar where we have a discount, we get a drink and go back home to play some Star Trek or something. Like I'm a pretty quiet guy. I find making up stories easy. Definitely agree. Creative writing champ. Got 4 out of 4.
I was gonna say, yep, same.
All about it. I love making up stories. I was waiting for the end of this test to pitch this to you, but
let's hear it.
I've got 3 people in mind in particular. All right, you, Arianthe, Justin, and Lux, and we're going to do a tabletop game, and we're going to stream it. And it's gonna be called something like the Quill Drake Institute, and you guys are going to be hunting cryptids.
Oh hell yeah!
I say hunting, investigating.
Let's do it.
Each campaign, you will be given a mystery. Something will have happened, almost true crimey, and there will be a mystery cryptid behind it, and you guys will have to figure out what's going on, contain it, neutralize it, send it where it came from. But you're going to work for a cool society. I'm going to dungeon master this. I'm going to give you guys classes and options to build characters. We're going to have a really fun time. It's going to be goofy. We're going to have a goofy time.
So what system are you thinking about using?
It's going to be a little bit like Tunnels and Trolls. We're going to go really loose with it so that people aren't necessarily having to roll dice all the time. It's going to be real streamlined. You're each going to have a character sheet. Okay? And you're going to have your attributes in it, and I'll probably do all the rolling. Just, or have an app on screen that I can just hit your roll and we can show it visually on the screen. But it'll be, I'm going to build a game that it's not necessarily about that. We're more about, Tunnels and Trolls is a really streamlined, quick way to play a role-playing game and not get bogged down in like super complex like D&D mechanics. There's not going to be like a map. It's going to be a lot of narrative and talking DM to the group. Does that make sense? So like,
yeah, also consider looking into the cipher system. I've been hearing stuff about that, and it seems kind of like what you're talking about, where it's designed to not get bogged down.
I'm into it.
Yes.
There's like sheer force of effort kind of effect in it, where it's, through weird feats of effort, you can get yourself out of situations that you probably couldn't in D&D without a nat 20.
Yes. Okay.
That's what the Old Gods of Appalachia system's going to be using.
I like
Which
that.
I got the books for. Well, they're not in, but I ordered the books for that as well.
See, heck yeah!
Oh, you did it!
Yeah, I broke down and dropped like $80 on the Kickstarter.
Yes. We were talking about that not too long ago, and he's like, I don't know. And I'm like, don't ask me. I'm ADHD. I'm super impulsive. I will spend that money.
Yeah. I sat around looking for a while for a game that I feel like we should all stream, but I feel like I've come up with something that maybe could make everybody happy. It'll be...
I'm down.
Like fun and topics relevant. Like the theme of it is something that I think fits with what gets the most views on the channel, is what's interesting to me, like, and it also fits our interests individually. But I want to have different classes and stuff like that. I'm still building building like the basics of the system, so you guys can go ahead and build a character sheet and kind of get a backstory for your character. But there's going to be as playable characters. You could be a medium or somebody with like elder blood attached to having been in contact with something mystical way in the past, and you're genetically inclined to it. There's I've got a few different like class ideas that I think will be really cool. Like but
you gotta give me a blacksmith option.
Exactly. There's gonna be like the three of you, Lux, Arianthe, and Justin in particular, have like that. I've basically built classes for you, but it was like I don't want to be like, hey, this is your character. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna give you guys a bunch of different options. You know what I mean? But it might feel at some point that I've tailor-made classes for you, but it's because
doesn't hurt my feelings at all.
Yeah, it's because I specifically want you guys to be able to be, you know what I mean? Like I've thought about it a lot, like, where Justin's character could potentially, you could potentially make a character where you've got like mystical Old Norse blood. You craft things for the group that actually help with the cryptid research and containment. You know what I mean? Like a true utilitarian class, but with this added, like, there's going to be cryptids and certain things that are more attracted to you or run away from you because of your genes,
Oh.
Okay.
Like your background will have something to do with it because we're talking about real world cryptids, So, like Irish fairies are going to be attracted to certain people and run away from other people, if you will, in not necessarily a racist way, but in like a way that's like, no, well, they're attuned to this kind of thing, or you notice it with your psychic prescience, stuff like that. But again, I don't want it to be too serious. We're gonna have a lot of silly times. We're gonna have a fun time.
That's the best way to do it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because the group you guys are gonna be working for, it's kind of like SCP, but a lot less evil seeming and a lot less fascistic and militaristic. It's you're gonna. My idea right now is an agent shows up, lights a quick fire, poofs some smoke in your face, and a puka drags you guys to the institute.
Yes.
Like, you guys are boom drafted, like, because of your background. So, but yeah, you guys have freedom on the background and stuff like that. But that's my concept so far for a role-playing game. I've been building it and waiting to pitch it to you guys, but I'm excited to maybe do it. Maybe do an episode where we just do the introduction kind of stuff and see where it goes, film it, and see if we all like it. Find a day of the week we're all free in the evening. But I'm more of a glass of wine with the campaign kind of guy, so get ready for some fun.
Loosey-goosey time.
Yeah. All right. Sorry for the giant trail off in conversation game.
Went wild, but I followed you.
Yeah, back to the AQ50 again. Selena, I'm glad Selena's back in the UK. That's they were in Germany for a while, and that just seems like quite the trip.
That is quite the trip. Sounds fun though.
Yeah, I find myself drawn more strongly to people than to things. I gotta
depends on the person.
Yeah, I definitely disagree. I am definitely more drawn to things. I am very much a tactile
I have
person.
a goblin horde of things, but I do not have many people in my life that I really enjoy.
Yeah. I'll buy a whole ass new instrument before I find someone that can play it.
I will collect rocks at the river.
Yeah.
Before I'm like, gonna go do coffee.
Yeah, I'll buy, learn, and record an instrument before I find another player nowadays. Yeah. That's just how I am. That's just me knowing me and how I stay productive. So yeah, definitely. Disagree. I have more to things. I tend to have very strong interest, which I get upset about if I can't pursue.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely agree.
I was just having a conversation with Erica the other day, and she was like, I have all these things that I want to do, but I just can't because, like, you only live one life. And I'm like, I know. Right.
No goblin horde of people, not even in captivity. Not even in captivity? What? I enjoy social chit-chat. I do.
Yes.
I do.
It is exhausting sometimes, but I do. It depends on if I've taken my meds that day or not.
Yeah, I'm putting slightly agree. When I talk, it isn't always easy for others to get a word in edgewise.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely agree. And we're all in good company here at the Hangout. Like, I prefer a climate where we're all kind of interrupting each other over one person holding it down for a fucking hour. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I like it this way, yes, I can be that way, but I try to let you guys go. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I try to shut up. I'm pretty bad at it. But like, I even interrupt my therapist.
Yeah.
So it's an ADHD trait for me specifically. I don't know if it necessarily falls in line with autism, because my youngest is on the spectrum and he doesn't do it. He'll just stare at me while I talk and go, okay, and walk off. But I am so bad about jumping in.
Me too.
Yeah.
I'm ADHD.
It's bad.
Yeah. Hey, you're all in good company. Again, I prefer this climate where we can kind of talk. You know what I mean? I don't know. But like, this kind of social chit chat is you know what I mean? And when it's actual chat, it's not just,
Yeah, and it's bad. I will catch myself doing it, but it just comes out anyway. And it's not because I don't care about what you're saying or anything like that. It's because if I don't get this out right now, I'm going to forget.
Yep. Yep. It will go. It's going to be gone. I got to get it. I got to express it.
Yeah.
The need to express myself also is just another. I have to express myself. Here's a weird question. I am fascinated by numbers. Here's what's weird. When I'm on a manic high, I am fascinated by numbers, particularly when I'm doing music or something like that. So that's one of those like slightly agree for me. Like,
it doesn't take a manic high. I have a weird relationship with numbers. I don't like odd numbers. They freak me out.
Yeah.
And so everything I do has to be done in an even number. I will make a chore chart for myself, and if I don't have the same number of chores in a single day, I will make some shit up.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they have to be like, you're either doing 2, 4, 6, or 8. That's it.
There's the amount of setting up a theater I do when there's chairs and stuff. There's a whole numberage, and like you start. So I do get fascinated. I get hung up on numbers, like how many more chairs I have to bring up. You know what I mean? Like I am constantly like doing little grids and stuff like that in my head, I suppose. So I'm leaving.
Yeah, I'm with Selena. I like numbers. I do not like mathematics.
Yeah, I like mathematics though. I just don't like mathematics without context. That's what was tough.
I guess so.
That's what sucks. And that's what sucked in school for me was like I could plug any variable into a squared plus b squared equals c squared, and I'll tell you what I'll solve the problem. But like, here's the thing. I need some context, man. Like, I hate just looking at fucking just numbers. Like, that's a weird expectation to put on somebody. But it, like, word problems, I loved those. Like, I loved that in math class. Like, that was always a fun time. Like, actually give me something for my brain to grab and give me a reason to do it.
Well, it helps me create a scene in my mind. I don't know if you're like this. I have to almost do it like a movie in my head.
Yes, mathematics is something like there needs to be a reason I'm doing it. Oh, snap! Lux is home.
Hey! I saw the door handle turn and I was like, oh, shoot.
Oh. What up, lady?
I was going to say about the ADHD brain from that book, ADHD 2.0, that I listened to. One of the best things, well, I got a lot of good sayings out of it. But one good explainer thing is like having a Ferrari brain with bicycle brakes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Where you just need to get this out. You got a Ferrari engine and, it's going really fast.
Yeah.
You gotta say it before you forget or get off topic or, I got something to say on this. And then bicycle brakes.
Boy, and it's bad. I catch myself doing it too. In my head, as it's coming out of my mouth, I'm going, I just interrupted this person. They're going to think I'm such an asshole, So I also get into the habit of being like, I'm so sorry.
Ooh, number 20 is a weird question. When I'm reading a story, I find it difficult to work out the character's intentions. For me, no.
No.
Like,
no.
Definitely disagree. Normally can figure out what's going on in text. Like,
I am very, very good at reading people, even if those people are made up.
Yeah. So I don't particularly enjoy reading fiction. Definitely disagree. I love reading fiction.
Yeah, definitely disagree there.
Fiction. I've
Take my brain away.
I've met a couple people in the real world where it's like, hey, you ever read this or that? It's like, no, I don't like fiction. You don't like fiction,
Ew.
period.
Just like, straight up?
Yeah. Like, I used to work for guys that I do not read fiction. Like, what do you mean you don't read fiction? That's weird.
Those people are wrong.
Yeah. I find he's also
Wait, did you just say you don't?
Right. I don't.
Weird.
Real life is weird enough to me. There's so much to learn and discover. I just have never run out of things yet.
Oh, no. Yeah, super strange to me.
Okay, she's weird.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
That documentary person, and like that.
I do love documentary.
Yeah.
Well, I do love documentaries. I do love true crime, but I also really like to go to the Shire,
Oh, no, we're nerds on this. Is a nerd channel. We're Star Wars, Star Trek, Marvel Universe, DC, Image Comics. Fuck, I'll talk about it. I'll go there. If there's a fictional world, I've probably read or been into it in some degree. From R.A. Salvatore to The Elder Scrolls. I've probably checked it out.
Healthier, too. Don't get me wrong. I just it feels like there's so much more to learn in real life that I just want to know.
Do you feel like fiction is a waste of time?
I feel guilty about it, I guess, like it just isn't, maybe that's the Catholic in me.
I've known a few different people that express the sentiment that's like, well, there's only so much life. It's like, I mean, you can have fun. That's my thing is like, I've known people who refuse to watch like a show or start a show because they feel like they don't have that much time left, and it's like, what are you talking about? Watch the show. Watch the show.
Watch the show.
Watch Game of Thrones.
I get in deep normally, and so if I know myself, so I know I only have so much time I want to spend on entertainment or whatever. So sometimes I don't even start something because I know I won't be able to stop.
So that's self-control. Yeah, self-control probably plays into it too. Yeah, that makes sense. I wonder.
I don't know what self-control is. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, I wonder frequently if the people who have told me they don't read fiction in the past also have self-control issues. One of them that told me that was a devout Catholic who also turned out, to be a predator. He got fired for preying on young men. So he.
Or I think the personality types, maybe whatever.
Yeah, it could be that there's something going on there with just personality, or he feels like there's or a tremendous amount of guilt for wasting time or something like that. It's interesting. Question 22. I find it hard to make new friends. Definitely agree. No.
I definitely disagree. I don't know what it is, but it's very, very easy to make new friends. Sometimes I don't even want to.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I'll look at somebody and smile, and they're like, "Hey, how are you? Let's talk." And I'm like, "Oh shoot."
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I'm kind of applying this to like me socially in the real world. I don't really count like YouTube or Facebook or anything like that. Because just actual in real world friends like Ari, Anthony, Justin, like we're real world friends. We've known each other. We grew up together. But like making new friends, I'm in a whole new place, whole new state. It is tough. It is hard for me post COVID to do that.
No.
It's hard. I mean, I haven't brought anybody. It's not like there's anybody on this channel that's like from my real life. You know what I mean? Like other like into my new real life, like from work or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like there's no new like people I hang out with in real life probably showing up anytime soon. Because
I kind of attribute it to like being a theater kid and doing ghost tours for so long, because I've been told that I know how to make people feel heard, and I'm like, well, I am listening to you. I am hearing you. And that was a thing that
for me, I think.
Yeah, I'm kind of one of those because I'm so introverted, it's hard for me to really even notice when you're trying to be my friend, as weird as that sounds. Like okay,
that makes sense for you.
You gotta lay it out. Me, I'm pretty aloof, so you gotta be like, hey, let's have a drink together, friend. And it's like, oh, okay, we're friends now. Like, I'm bad about it. It's hard for me to notice things like that. You gotta really lay it on if you're trying to hit on me or something like that too, or I just won't notice. I just won't notice.
But also don't, because Lux will fuck you up.
Oh, she'll fuck you up. Yeah, don't try. If you're just now tuning in,
don't do it.
Lux is in the house. She'll whoop you through the screen right now.
What he just said, total trap. Don't do it.
Yeah, and also good luck getting my attention. With me, I'm very happy with Lux. very, very happy.
That's fair.
Had a drunk lady try to
also.
Oh.
Just messing with the Texas girls, man, just isn't a good idea.
Not a good idea.
Probably not smart. No.
Yeah. She'll go rodeo mode and drag that ass. That's a term I invented for Lux when she's in full boss mode. You guys.
I have never heard somebody say she'll go full rodeo mode.
Full rodeo mode. I I had said it to a coworker like about describing Lux being in rodeo mode about a certain thing about an event. There was an event that showed up to our small venue because we have a theater and a small venue that we work at, and the tour didn't tell us that they were bringing a snow machine.
Oh, that's nice.
And as the dude who sweeps the floors, I really, you know, you gotta let us know if you're gonna bring extra hours of labor so we can let our bosses know we are a nonprofit. We do have people who take time out. It's normally people, this is their part-time job, so it's like people are coming in out of the goodness of their heart to help the nonprofit out, and they're getting paid and stuff. But it's like, you can't, it's weird. Like, people will roll in like, hey, we got a snow machine, no bigs. It's like, kind of bigs.
Little bigs, yeah.
Could be bigs.
I hope you brought squeegees and your own fucking crew, too.
Yeah. And Lux is so high up that normally means she'll have to make an email or something or tell somebody or break the news. She'll be the one to break the news or something. And, you know, that's when you can kind of see her get a little... I find it sexy as hell. Like, she's going to put some boots on and whoop my ass. But, you know.
Derek says so, too.
Yeah, it's
Derek's like, when you get mean, it's hot.
Yeah, we can't help it. We, you know, to quote Johnny Depp, do like a feisty lady, but just the way she verbally stands up for herself sometimes is pretty cool. Or the way she'll stand up for the operation she's working for and take into account everybody around her. It's a kind of a crass label to put on it, rodeo mode, but that's. You know, that's how it seems. Like, she's gonna take your ass to the bullpen.
I like rodeo mode.
Fuck you up is how it seems. I know that's question 23. I notice patterns in things all the time. I do.
Sometimes.
I definitely agree. I actually have an unhealthy amount of that, in my opinion. I have synesthetic responses that are kind of wired weird, and Duke University has said I am adept at pattern recognition when I was 12.
I listen for patterns.
I everything for patterns. If they've given
I
them,
don't necessarily see them.
I do it to my own detriment most of the time.
By the end, by the end of middle school, like Duke University specifically had paid for all this testing to be done on me. I had damn near passed an SAT. It was like 2 questions from perfect, so they thought I cheated. They tested me again, and I got damn near completely perfect. And it's a multiple choice test. That year it's particularly easy. And when they tested me, they were like, no, audio, visual, like every form of pattern we can throw at you, you pick up. Like, you are adept at pattern recognition. Like, that's musically, that's why I can kind of find a riff quick, or why I can jump instruments, things like that. And why I preach all the time to know something broadly is to see it in all things. There are genuinely things I see in all things. Even the patterns within the genetic makeup of my family, like within my son, I see the face of everybody I've ever loved, and I see the patterns. I've done enough DMT too that there's times where it's like I can just tell that this is the geometry of the universe working here. This is a pattern I'm noticing. You know, like there's. Things like that I like patterns in particular. Like, my frontal lobe loves to point them out to me, and I get stuck on them. Like, oh, this is just like that. Or I'll notice like the cyclical, like even in anthropology, where it's like this civilization acts a lot like that. Lately, where I've been stuck is Semitic languages. So like Hebrew and Gaelic have an unusual amount in common. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't make any sense. That like anthropologically speaking, like geographically speaking, like why, how, what, you know, and
also some of their early runic characters were similar as well.
Yes, and it seems that those early runic things also had a mathematical significance to the Gaelic people. So I'm wondering, like, there's times where I notice patterns and things, and it's like there's either something more to it, or this is just genuinely, you know, like in Minecraft, if you play enough of it, you'll notice really the functional design of the game is that humans will only think to do so many things, and you will stumble across the story of that game naturally. And, you know, there's only so many ways to slice up humans. There's only so many ways to slice us up into categories. There's only so many ways that we behave. So given that there's so many of us spread out so far, it's like, it's just fascinating to me that that group of people will act exactly like this group of humans, express it in a little bit of a different way because of their environment, but it's this is humans acting like humans. We're going to build a pyramid. We're going to do this. There's things we do. And when you notice that pattern, you start seeing it in everything humans do. Or like, there's anthropological things that like fascinate me to a degree that it's like, I'll spend 2-3 days reading into something, like, just like a really weird niche topic. Like I might read a few essays that professors have written and then just fucking stash it and move on. Like, okay, here's this pattern. But yeah, I'm mad about, would you rather go to a theater than a museum? Oh shit.
No.
I work in a theater.
I really love theaters, but I enjoy participating in the theater, not necessarily going to the theater. I'd rather go to the museum.
I love a museum.
When I read that, I was thinking like movie theater for whatever reason. Now it makes way more sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even
if we're talking movie theater, I'd still rather go to a museum.
I think, that's such a tough one, because a museum is, we're used to modern museums where there's an incorporation of both, honestly. Like I haven't been to a museum that doesn't have a theater in it like ever in my life. I don't think I've, like, every museum or zoo I've been to has a theater that's playing some kind of Jane Goodall something, or so those are so close in experience to me. It's so weird. I guess I do. That's apples and oranges, but if I had to choose one over the other, I'd probably say theater. But I'm so passionate about entertainment and live events that I work in it. And I work in it for I'm doing it in a way that's not putting a suit on somebody. So I definitely agree that I go to a theater before a museum, although I love a museum. Like that's apples and oranges to me. But if I had to get rid of one and keep one, I work at a theater. That's how much I'm into just theater craft and staging. And things
I
like
would
that.
love to work in a museum. That would be so cool. I'm thinking about volunteering down at the Historical Society. Like that's where I'm at with it.
Oh, you should. That'd be really cool.
It's just, I want access to all those records.
This is a tough one for
That's
me.
all I want.
Question 25. Check this out.
Mm.
It does not upset me if my daily routine is disturbed. No, it definitely bothers me. Like
I lose my shit.
Bothers the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Ooh, definitely disagree. I am low
Don't show up unannounced. Don't try and change my plans, because I will be an absolute ass about it.
Oh yeah, like I'm low on weed
I also
till
have
payday.
a no problem.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like I'm low on weed till payday and grumpy about it. Like I'm not taking it out on anybody, but I'm not happy about it.
I get so angry. Don't talk to me if you're gonna do that.
Yeah. Don't fuck with my zen is normally what I say.
Like I have my whole month planned out. Like I have things that I need to do every single day. I have a daily planner. If something comes up that's not in my planner and I haven't scheduled for it, don't talk to me.
Yeah. 26 is oof. They should just at me. Like they know who I am. This is weird. I frequently find that I don't know how to keep a conversation going. I have had that specific problem lately. I don't know what to say back to people. I just kind of get quiet and walk away. I've been so awkward lately. I cannot keep a conversation going. Like get halfway into something and my brain goes somewhere else, and conversation kind of naturally hits an end with the other person, and it's clearly my time to respond and push the conversation forward, and I just kind of fart out. I've been bad about it lately.
That's interesting. I don't know how much of this is just learned activities. I don't have an issue keeping a conversation going now. Now, up until I started doing ghost tours, I was awful at it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess 10,000 people deep, and all of a sudden you know how to carry a conversation.
Yeah. Oof.
that and having that as a practice is also good because it has a topic that you know a lot about that you can carry on about. So you have like a default go-to at least in that situation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's probably
the
what it is.
good tool building. Good tool building.
Like being thrown in the deep end in sales or something. I mean, it's a challenge when you have to start doing cold calling and stuff, but you get better at it.
Yeah. I worked a phone room, sales, stuff like that. At one point, I felt very, good and outgoing, and I could really put the face on. But post-COVID, this last year, I'm hard to talk to. I recognize that, like in real life.
You might just be out of practice,
Well, and that was a big part of why I started this damn YouTube channel, and it's not helping. It doesn't help at all. This is not unwinding me around people in the real world at all. It has done nothing. It hasn't made it worse. It's just
at least it's not making it worse.
Yeah, it's not making it worse.
Yeah,
it's not the same. Ways to open up for me in front of a camera as opposed to just a room full of eyes. And that's different too, because if I was on stage, that'd be different. I had no problem performing.
Oh, totally.
No problem.
Yeah, I remember having this conversation with you one time when we were like in junior high, and both of us had said to Ms. Schneiderwin, you put us in front of a stage of 50,000 people and we'll do whatever you want us to do, but if you put me in a small group of 10, I can't do it.
I can't do it. I don't like it. I get awkward.
Well, you
I
kick into
more
performer
stage.
mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I have
kind of the
more stage
opposite.
fright in a small group than I do when there's, there could be thousands of people watching, and I'm like, yeah, let's do it,
Yeah.
And I guess it's because maybe it's easy to, now that I've reflected on it a little bit, maybe it's easy to separate myself from that crowd because it is such a large object versus the 10 personal people standing there, you know?
Yes, absolutely. Well, and the actual repercussions of their opinion might actually reach you when you're performing in front of a bunch of people, and it's you know what I mean? In a certain context, it's like, it kind of takes a certain context for me to get in the mode of I could give a fuck what people think. You know what I mean? Like, and being on a stage will do that. Yeah, going to performer mode.
Yeah, I mean, it worked out whenever I did ghost tours because my boss really liked to do the smaller tours, and I was like, nah, give me that group of 30. You know?
It's been tough for me. I haven't played live in so long that it's, I've just become a quiet person. I just seem seemingly quiet. I haven't had, something I used to get before Where's Lawrence, which is like, where's that person that was on the stage? It's like, no, I'm not actually like that, really. I'm pretty quiet unless you're in the band with me or like Arianthe or someone close. Like,
it could just be you're out of practice, truly, just to define yourself as not that kind of person. Really, it's all in what you do, so you could morph back into that, but it takes practice, just like anything, like using logic instead of emotions to respond rather than react. All of these things take cognitive intention, what I mean?
Yeah.
Otherwise, you kind of can default into your default mode, which... I don't know if anybody read that Thinking Fast and Slow, but that is like, I think it's Daniel Kahneman or somebody, like a psychologist type. And really, we all have a default mode, but we can also change takes, like an inflection or impact on an emotional experience, an intention. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's for me right now, I think confidence and self-esteem is a big part of it. I think I've just been the lowest I've ever been the last 2 years, 3 years now. Like self-esteem and confidence wise. Like really, you can kind of track it with the progression of Merc records. Like there hasn't been a Merc record in a year, and it was really tough to get the last one out. Just self-confidence and self-esteem lately, I think, has been the biggest part of it. The divorce. I went through a year of traumatic events, almost nonstop year of traumatic events, and by the end of it, it's like I'm glad I wasn't castrated in an emergency procedure to remove stones. I'm glad I didn't die of sepsis.
That conditioned you to be like a beaten puppy in a way. You know what I mean?
Well,
That
and
sounds like an emotional experience.
Well, and that's just simply a quarter of what was going on while I was almost dying. My wife was leaving me. I couldn't see my son. I was too ill to even really hold my son for a period of time. Like, it was been a really rough few years. And so I find myself in introspection a lot, and I do a lot of kind of breaking myself down, a lot of humbling activities. I mop a lot of floors for the theater. I've genuinely the last few years moved to be more of a person that kind of walks with his head bowed, humbled like the dust, if you will. If it wasn't for Lux, I'd probably just be wandering with a flute or something. I'm pretty lost as an individual as a whole after the last few years, and that's made it really hard conversationally, socially, in a lot of respect. It's been really hard. And I know I'm not alone in that. Like, there's a lot of people who had to have had worse times than I did through COVID too, which we're probably they're probably few in
perhaps.
number.
Maybe they did, but that doesn't diminish the shit that you went through. And as somebody who sat and watched you go through it, you know, I sat and I watched you go through it. I talked to you going through it. I did everything I could as you went through it, but sometimes there's just only so much you can do. And so, maybe they did go through something that you perceive as, worse than this, but that doesn't diminish the trauma that it lays down on you.
Because we all have our world view and our sphere of influence and our version of worse and better, because, that comparing is never healthy, is what I've found,
Yeah. So, I'm going to get on to you here. You're in trouble now. Now you're in trouble. You don't need to diminish the shit that you went through,
Agreed.
Oh, thank you guys. That means a lot.
Do it again, and I'm going to flip out.
I need to hear that. Yeah, put me on watch for it, because it is something that there's so much to it, like how busted up it left me. Just that whole era. Really, before I started the channel, it was pretty rough shape. Still in like just emotionally rough shape occasionally. Like
I'm in awe of you, and that you were able to do a channel in feeling like that. To me, that is like some serious introspection and growth, and like attempt at coming back to life again. And to put yourself out there is so vulnerable. I'm so impressed, and it's just a really amazing thing you were able to do for yourself, to pull yourself out of it, and that's really cool.
Oh, thank you.
I told you. I told you that.
You did.
Thank you, Allie. I'm glad you said that, because I said it too, and he went,
Yeah, I went,
It's emotional, because we all get in those low points and don't know how to pull ourselves out. To me, it's admirable that this was a choice you took, that you knew it was going to be hard, and you didn't know what was going to happen, and you knew you didn't like where you were, so you tried something. That's like amazing.
Oh, thank you. I
exactly. You see, I say it, and he goes, "You're always so nice." That's it. Yeah, you.
It is. The people who I'm used to comforting me sometimes when this is another issue I've had. I've had crazy mom. A lot of the women in my life, except Arianthe, have bailed on me or been incarcerated.
When I have to be.
Yeah, well, everybody, but you, that's a female presence in my life, other than my close female friends, which you guys take care of me. You're why I'm alive. Very much like growing up, a lot of my female friends were like my mom. Like, and it's kind of strange to explain, but like Arianthe's one of those that it's like sometimes when she says the thing I need to hear, it's not that it wasn't perfect and crafted perfectly for me and exactly what I needed to hear. It's that I'm not listening. Only because I'm convinced that the people that care about me either about to leave, no matter how long they've been in my life. I've known Ariane the majority of my life. And
I mean, our parents dated.
yeah, like you're not going anywhere, and Justin not going anywhere. If we were going anywhere in each other's lives, we would be gone. But it's hard for me to not think that everything I care about is going to be gone in the next day. I lived 4 years of stability.
Well, whenever
at a
you
time.
live your life. Yeah, when you live your life in a constant state of this person is constantly going in and out, that person is constantly going in and out. I was right there with you.
Yeah.
Same. My mom was in and out, and my dad was just out. And you have people that leave on a pretty constant. These people that you're supposed to be able to rely on.
Yeah.
Your spouse, your parent.
An attachment issue. Have you read about attachment theory and things?
We just go straight up call you out on this stream. Here we are.
Oh yeah. Look, I have like an unhealthy, not a codependence issue. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Seriously, you remind me of Derek. Derek's not codependent. He's very much so able to live his life on his own, but he'd just rather fucking not.
I'd rather not. I have lived alone and done it. Even when baby mama left, when I was going through a separation, it's like moved special guest and Angel in. I don't want to live alone. I'm used to a house full of energy and other stuff.
Well, that's where you find your comfort,
I genuinely sleep best when I hear everybody having a good time. I don't need it to be quiet.
It sounds like you grew up with a very a disorganized style, or you're like
there was no organization. Again, my father, just a little background on my actual upbringing. My grandmother functionally raised me until I was 10. She passed away. I bounced between my mother and my father really in 4-year increments until I was 17, and then I moved out on my own. Gone back and lived with them as an adult a couple of times when the need arises, and I've co-parented with my mom. But again, my father was a career criminal for most of my life. When he wasn't selling cars, sell cars or be a career criminal. There's really two options there. And so he was constantly in and out of incarceration when I was growing up. My mother, drug addict, alcoholic, has her own mental issues that are undiagnosed, and is genuinely abusive. And again, I think it's still something she doesn't understand that she does. Kind of person, but she's not stable. She's not, she's worked multiple jobs to keep us kids in a house before, but she's also had a bipolar shift and kicked us out for no reason as minors.
There's also I know my mom and your mom are pretty similar. Whenever they work those multiple jobs to make sure that roof is over your head, it's admirable, but at the same time, they're not going to let you forget that they work those multiple jobs and you owe them.
And that's in their
resentment or something.
Yeah, and that's the emotional connection you get, and you're only getting it every other weekend or whatever. You know what I mean? Like when they're not working, and it's like the one day a month they happen to have off. It's strange. Like I've just abandonment issues. I genuinely have abandonment issues. I make no secret of it when I get in a relationship with somebody. If they want to take it seriously and we have the conversation where we're going to move forward. Lux and I have had this conversation where she had been around enough. I explained, like, look, I do love you too, but I do have abandonment issues. Like with my love comes a little bit of fear from me that you're going to leave. And I'm doing my best to not put that on other people a lot. And it's hard, particularly hard to not be resentful for the people that have left. Like baby mama, that was genuine spousal abandonment. I almost died in a hospital. She wouldn't even answer the phone. Wow. I did nothing. She still won't talk to me about why she left. I don't know. I don't, it's been even worse, where I thought I had made so much progress in my life and I was living so stable, and I had somebody I was sure would never leave, and if they did, there would be a reason, there would be a fight, there would be something to why she would leave me. And I never in a million years would have thought that I would be abandoned, genuinely left again, like Dear John, functionally, not even ghosted if there wasn't a kid involved. Someone I've been married to for almost a decade. So it's so hard for me. Like I have this extra I've like a hurdle, and then I jumped it, and then they put a bigger one up, I jump it, and then I'm just falling all over the last one they've put up. Pretty bad. But Lux
We'll get you over it though.
Lux is a very patient person. When I first got COVID, it was very scary. I was very scared of the reaction she had, because we had to kind of separate physically for a bit, and I didn't even know where I was going to sleep in this tiny apartment. But she was testing negative, and it eventually she took care of me. But at my original thought with her reaction, because she was so concerned and showed this level of passion for my well-being, I read it as anger over the situation. Does that make sense? And so I had this inward sad reaction, oh, she's done with me, I'm too much, and she's just, I don't know, she's so good at it. I'm better at communicating when I'm feeling that way, and she's good about reassuring me. If she feels any way, I'm good. You know what I mean? We've built an avenue of communication that I haven't really had in a relationship before, and that's nice. Which I did have. I did have this avenue of communication with my baby mother. I wouldn't have procreated with somebody I didn't. Again, genuinely, I thought we were communicated really well. It was something that we would tell other people up until the week she left. I don't know when it changed. I'm still trying to get her to tell me when that changed, what changed, so I don't do it to other people. I've given me no room to grow. So that's a big part of my self-confidence too. But
however, and I told you this at the time too, it's not you. It wasn't you,
And a lot of times we see ourselves pick in a partner the dysfunction that we're trying to get away from, or the thing that we don't want, subconsciously. It's our default, system, or system one default thinking that just takes over, and we don't even mean to be seeking this out.
Oh, no, I had absolutely tricked myself into believing that she would never be that type of person to do this or act like that or this or that. And it's, I built a lot of justifications over that for that relationship in my mind from the jump. And
natural though, we all do shit like that.
We do.
We don't need to.
Well, I'm from a small town too, so it's when you can't hold someone's past necessarily against them. You can't hold their drunken actions against them, things like that. That's obvious. But there's also this added, where we're from, it's I don't know, you get one girlfriend or a fiance, and you might end up ostracizing a whole chunk of your friends because they're still hung up on her, or blah blah blah, or it caused a fight with so and so. I still have a friend I grew up with that will not talk to me. I have a dear friend that will not talk to me because of that marriage.
Oh no.
And his mom's my godmom. I've lived in their house. He won't talk to me because of that marriage. And I get they dated as teens, but I sure wouldn't mind a friend. I sure wouldn't mind my friend I grew up with, that's for sure.
Do I know this human?
Yes, we all know him very well. I'll use his name. His name's Braxton. Braxton, I miss you. I've said it. I've told his mom to tell him. I try to get him to come see my kid. Yeah, I think maybe he's
I love Braxton too.
I got a feeling he's in a situation with the relationship or something of his own, and maybe that's got something to do with it. But I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of layers to the onion of my low self-confidence and kind of. I part of me wonders if it'll end up with some kind of weird PTSD diagnosis, because I'm just having this more in my life now than ever. It feels like I've been through some kind of battle. I'll have flashes of things, and I get pulled out of things, or my mood changes because of that experience, because of this weird mental visualization of horrible things. And it's
Selena. Sorry, she's right. Sorry. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think it was that, Selena, at all. I don't. I know for a fact it has something to do with me as a character. I know for a fact. I know it.
I've known you my whole life.
I've
known you my whole life, and I've never seen you change for anything more than the better, except for right out of high school.
Yeah, except for when drug addiction happened, and
Yeah.
boy did that teach me to try to rebuild and grow, and genuinely thought I had a relationship where we could talk anything out. Like, we could talk anything out, and we always did. We did for almost a decade. So I know it was something in my character that must have changed. Having a child was rough.
Well, of course it is. But then again, I've known baby mama most of my life too. We were neighbors for a long time, and the change that you see in a person whenever they have children is vast.
Yeah.
But the last time I saw her is whenever I was helping you guys move and stuff, because I had the truck, and she was very cold, and I'd never seen her like that before.
Yeah. I had never. And she had been that way for a minute, and wouldn't open up.
Even whenever I came to see little guy, after he was born.
Yeah.
She was very cold.
She wouldn't talk. I mean, I tried to open up. I tried to examine myself. I tried to say, if there's something I'm doing, I will change for you. I will do anything. I tried to suggest therapy, going back to work, like genuinely tried to suggest anything while, but
The reality of it is nothing. It's not you. It wasn't you. I'm going to tell you again. I'll tell you 1,000 times. I'll tell you till the day that we die. It wasn't you.
Well,
it wasn't you.
Well, I don't.
I'll fight. You want to fight? Do it right here.
Well, I don't insist that it was me without a genuine introspective look at my own actions. There must have been something like it's, and that's not my low self-esteem or anything like that. Like, we never really fought or anything like that, but maybe there's something conversationally I'm doing that makes someone else incredibly uncomfortable, and that's absolutely possible. I have no way
maybe it is.
I have no way of knowing what I've done to somebody if it's absolutely something that I'm doing mentally to them and they won't talk to me about it. You know what I mean? Like, I absolutely would change that behavior in a heartbeat if I knew it existed. And I've never...
That's what I'm saying.
I've never seemed like I wasn't that person. So she's made it out like something has happened. Something has happened that there was proof I would never change. So I'd love to know what it was so I can change it and not ever do that to somebody again. Because I'd hate to have to put Lux in a situation where she feels that way or feels like she has to like leave me in a way that's like to avoid me being upset. Like, and here's the thing, I've never been a violent person. I can be sharp with my tongue and say hurtful things. Yes, I'm guilty of it.
Raise your hand to him though, and he will not.
No, I will not hit you. I've never been violent.
He'll call you a bitch, but the second your hand goes up, rest assured, he's gonna no.
No, I'm gone.
You know why? Sister.
Sisters, yeah. I had that whipped into me. Do not raise a hand toward women, and I never have. Don't even particularly like to yell. Hey, Lux.
Hello.
Hey, Lux.
How's your day going so far? Man.
Yeah.
You ready to find out if you're dating somebody on the autism spectrum?
Oh, I took that test earlier.
Did you?
Yeah.
What did you get?
I'm 28.
What's that? Is that?
I'm basically like half autistic.
Oh, okay. We might both be on the spectrum. Maybe that's why we're working so well.
Hey.
You want to come sit with me while I take the rest of it?
I'm finishing stuff.
Yes.
You're what?
I'm finishing stuff.
Finishing stuff?
Yeah.
What do you got going on?
Work.
What? There's no shows tonight.
Not tonight. What about maybe the ones that announce and go on sale tomorrow?
See, I was trying to just show you guys an example of rodeo mode if I could bust it out real quick.
We still have to do the Genshin thing.
Oh yeah, we got to do Genshin Smasher Pass.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll do that for the next stream.
Oh, okay.
For sure.
Okay.
Because this one's already, we're going to be over 3 hours by the time I wrap this quiz up.
Mm-hmm.
because we talk too much.
I don't want to do it now. I just said I have stuff to do.
It would be weird if we went from kind of an emotional breaking down of me as a character into a Genshin Impact Smasher Pass. It would
would it be strange? Yes. Does it check out here on the channel? Yeah.
It does fit the theme of the channel. Mwah. Mwah. I love you, dear.
I love you too.
Let's move on to question 27.
Bye.
Good luck! I find it easy to read between the lines when someone is talking to me.
Yes.
Now, this kind of ties into what I was talking to with character flaws in myself, things I've noticed about myself. I'm an incredibly paranoid individual. I was raised by paranoid individuals. I'm Jewish and from the South. I've been in actual fights because of who I am, and I'm a paranoid person. And I really don't give quarter to certain things, even conversationally, particularly if it's in my parlor. If you're in my home, no, get out of my home with that kind of talk. Even the implication of certain rhetoric, I just don't handle. And again, I'm adept at pattern recognition, so I'll call someone out maybe on something they're feeling and only implying, and the room's wondering why I know that about them.
Yeah.
And it's because I can tell, and I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
So I do, and I do it too. I'm also, like any other human, I'm not perfect with that. I do not get that right every time. I'll make implications about people that are absolutely wrong. That is an assumption, and a wrong one. I've made the wrong assumption of people multiple times, a lot in my life, and I've treated them verbally in a way I shouldn't have, and I try to not do that. I try to genuinely give people the benefit of the doubt, more than I probably should nowadays. And there's also things where it's the people who love me the most. It's like I know at some point I must have made my baby mama feel like she was walking on glass talking to me. That must have been the situation. That must have been what I did. I must have done that, and I take responsibility for that, but I got to grow from it. You know what I mean? I got to figure out why I'm doing that, where I'm doing that, when I'm doing that, because I don't know when I'm doing that, and grow from it, And I
fight with you one day.
I know, but I know I've done it to people, and I've had people tell me to, like, I would rather argue with Satan himself than you. And
you are very stubborn. You are very, very stubborn. Yes, and it can get very frustrating because sometimes you want to choke you.
Yeah.
Sometimes there have been times where I'm like, I'm gonna Bart Simpson you.
Yeah. No, I'm as stubborn and thick as a castle wall. Like it's
very, very true. But you love someone and you care about someone enough to be like, hey, I'm gonna fucking Bart Simpson you, so I'm gonna walk away. But when I come back, we're gonna have this conversation. And I mean, at no point in time have I ever, in the entire time that I've known you, had you piss me off to a point to where I'm like, I'm not even gonna fucking tell him what he did. I'm just done.
Right? I've very rarely had anybody do that to me. Like the people who have done that to me, it's like they do genuinely explain it in some capacity. And again, like it's people who I've genuinely in text or with my words said some pretty horrible shit. Like I take full responsibility for having said horrible shit. I say horrible shit all the time to people when I'm upset. I speak from my heart to my mouth more frequently than I'm comfortable with. And I can't help it. I can't. I do my best to help it, but there's certain things where it's like if there's genuinely like a procedural weird thing about being with me when it comes to being comfortable expressing yourself around a home, I'd love to know what that is, so I don't do that to anybody ever again. I genuinely feel like I must have done that to her, and that she did her own. I've got a whole list of shit I could bitch that she's done to. Like there's all. But I'm not the one who got an attorney and left. I'm I'm not the one who bounced. I
just don't think that it had much to do with you, and I think it had a lot more to do with maternal factors.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that without pointing.
Yeah. My accusation is that she's fantasized the idea of being a single mother for so long because she was raised by one that's just what she's defaulting into. There's a narrative she has in her head of myself that's obviously not true.
No.
There's a type of person I am that she's acting that that's not. No, I don't know where it came from.
I just can't imagine at any point in time somebody who's again, I've known you basically my entire life, and I would, my house, your house, in the middle of the street, be like, yo, you're acting like a bitch.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
You know? And will it piss you off? Yeah. Are we going to exchange words? We have before.
Yeah.
You know? But it never stopped any conversation that came afterwards, like, hey, I know I called you a bitch and I meant it wholeheartedly. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
And, it's when it comes with every other, I don't know. And again, why I say it must be something like that was the way in which, she's explained, I thought you were a good husband and a good father. And it's like, well, the fuck you talking about? The fuck you talking about? At that point, I was on the, it's obviously she's changed but I don't know. I think there's a few different things going on with her. But I am not going to be so naive as to put the whole thing. I mean, I obviously did something. I did something.
But even if you did, having no interest in having a conversation with a man that you've known your whole life, you've started a family with, you've been married to for years and years and years, you know what I mean?
She wants to avoid any form of conflict.
Sure.
And again, conflict with me is words. I'm not. Well, what am I going to do? Words between the two of us. What the fuck is how bad could it be? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. I've had people say some pretty wild shit to me, but I've never been so scared off I didn't give my own opinion or defend myself for sure. Like, and I've had people, like, there's a dear friend of my sister's who's always there for her, and there's been times where I didn't think this girl was a good influence, and I've ran her off. And she's told me before, like, I've never had a man make me cry with his words quite like you have. And I barely knew her. You know what I mean? Like, I don't
way.
And I don't even remember.
You've got a very creative way of hurting somebody's feelings. I will never forget some of the things that you've said to me, and I know you said it out of anger, so I never took it like quite personally. But I'd be like, "Ah, what the fuck?"
Oof. Yeah, I've had a few different welled up eyes and ouches given to me, and I take full responsibility for that. That's abusive behavior, and it's not okay. Like, that's not okay to do to people, and particularly if you have a way with words, like if you are a creative, like. Like if you're a literary mind, if you can write some real quick prose that shuts someone the fuck down, like, don't. I've abused it genuinely, and I
have too.
I've genuinely been a heel verbally, and I've genuinely looked for the little ways I can imply that someone might be implying that they think this or that, so I can tear them down. And, it might start as small as, like, their political affiliation, but then what I'm going to voice is, their shit-ass middle of nowhere background. And they're going to be like, how'd you even know that about me? It's like, fuck you, man. I know what kind of piece of shit you are. You know what I mean? Like, that I'll go into it. Like, I can be mean. Like, I'm not a nice person all the time. And
I mean, nobody is a nice person all the time.
No.
Plus, like I was saying earlier, we were raised by similar people. I was raised by a whole ass group of narcissists. Watch me be an asshole. It's not good. It's abusive. I recognize it, and I always say that I'm sorry. Sometimes it doesn't soothe wounds, and I understand that, but that's something I'm working on. Yeah. But, like, boy.
Yeah.
Boy.
So I'm going to put, for this question, I find it easy to read between the lines when someone is talking to me. Definitely agree. I definitely agree with that. Number 28. I usually concentrate more on the whole picture rather than small details. That's actually true for me. I am more of a big picture person. I conceptualize elements of a record and start building I'm not worried about I'm not spending hours on my snare sound when I'm recording a record. I'm worried about the overall feel and vibe of the project. I don't sweat the small shit anymore. If I don't like a riff, I cut its throat immediately, make a new riff. Like I can be the same with people in an unfortunate utilitarian way when it comes to like people in relation to me and music. Like it can be tough. Like I am a big picture person, so like to work with me sometimes it's like we got to have the same end goal. If we don't have the same end goal, it's not going to work out. You know, like the end goal, it's not that the end goal has to be perfect, but it needs to be delivered. You know what I mean? Like that's if I could give a fuck about the small details. I honestly, and you know, my line of work is mostly small details, but when you deal with, like, at the end of the day, when you have like a short turnaround for a venue or like even an apartment or something like that, and you know, there's things that the small details can't bog you down. You have a deadline, and that's just how I am. So I definitely agree with that. I'm a kind of a bigger.
I'm not like that.
I know a lot of people that are detail oriented, but in you know.
But I'm detail oriented in a really unhealthy way. I obsess over little things.
Yeah. Hey, you and a lot of musicians I've worked with. I know people that will take way too long on a record because they're trying to get every little tiny detail perfect. Yeah. And it's like, dude, no one's going to listen to it like that. No one cares that it's you know, recorded with this mic or whatever in this room and it's perfect. Like maybe 12 people that will hear this record really appreciate that element of it, but express yourself. There's an end goal here. Let's release something. Let's do something. Let's when there's a fucked up green room, right? I work with a guy who sometimes he gets a little flustered. We work a high pace, hot job. It's very laborious. And there's times where it's like we're really hoping the green room's not tore up. We walk in there and it just looks like it was a house party, like they tore it up, like Joe Walsh style. And you know, he's one of those that he starts getting really discouraged by the amount of smaller things that we have to do to get the end product complete, which is clean this room. You know what I mean? And I like to be there to remind him. Sometimes I feel like it genuinely calms him down when I'm like, there's no house party we can't clean up, dude. Like we got this, brother. Like you start doing that, I'll start doing this. We'll crush this small shit twice as fast. Like I don't spend too much time on the small details unless they're egregious, you know.
Boy, I wish. I have such a hard. It fucks with my career, you know. I will record something and then I spend hours just trying to edit it. Oh, I can still hear this noise. I can still hear that noise. Is it going to get edited out later by a professional? Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, I'm the same way. It's bad.
I'm so bad.
I'm such a perfectionist about certain way things look sometimes or whatever that I spend so much time formatting something that it's like, you idiot, you just missed the deadline.
Yeah, exactly.
What
I'll be right back. My kiddo's yelling for me.
Oh, you're good. While she's taking a break, what changed me from being a really small details oriented person, so I'm using music production as my kind of overall arcing analogy for this question here, but look, I used to be so nervous that somebody would hear an off note or that this riff wasn't quite up to par or this wasn't recorded to the standard I want it to. It wasn't until I genuinely I started releasing things on a whim on Bandcamp forever ago. And I didn't polish anything I put on Bandcamp. I released almost as quickly as I tracked it. And I ended up with more opportunities and connections and networking opportunities than I had my entire life doing music. And it's genuinely one of those, you miss 100% of the opportunities you don't take. And in this case, you miss 100% of the opportunities you don't have a net out for. You got to release that stuff. You have an idea, get it out there. It doesn't have to be recorded perfect. If somebody who records things perfect and cares about that hears it and wants that version of it, they might reach out to you and make it happen. Like, there's a certain balance between perfection and discoverability that I feel like any artist in any creative medium has to find. You have to release enough that you are discoverable, but you have to release the quality that people want to stick around. And it's hard to find that. I know I certainly can't on this YouTube channel. That's basically the theme of the YouTube channel most of the time. Is me trying to find that balance and see what keeps people around in the YouTube world, because YouTube's totally weird. You guys like true crime more than anything. And that still is. I didn't see that coming. Thought for sure nerd news would be more popular than true crime. I don't know why. I realize that sounds silly saying it out loud now, but when I first started this YouTube channel, I thought I could just maybe end up doing nerd reviews or something. And I realize now that where I think the audience might be on YouTube is true crime. They're pretty hungry for it still. There's not a lot of people out there really devoting their streams to true crime. If they are, it's one case for a nauseating amount of time. Which is wild. Let's see. Let's move on to number 29. I am not very good at remembering phone numbers. I'm not. I can remember like maybe 2 phone. I don't have any in my head right now. I can remember like maybe 2 off the top of my head. Like, so fucking definitely agree on that one. Question 30. I don't usually notice small changes in a situation or a person's appearance. I do. I notice small changes. The lady at the market, she had braces. She's a young kid, and she got her braces off. I noticed that I had braces as a kid. When someone gets new glasses, I like to compliment them on them. I notice small stuff. Definitely disagree. I noticed that kind of issue. I know how to tell if someone listening to me is getting bored. No, I yes and no. I feel like if I know you well, I can tell that you've lost interest. But I'll probably still talk to you while you're yawning because you're my friend and I know you're not going anywhere. You know what I mean? Like, if I love you enough and I'm talking through your boredom, it's because I love you and I know you're tolerating me right now. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I slightly agree. I feel like I'm fairly good at it. Welcome back.
Hello.
Oh, okay.
My children.
We are on question 32.
Okay.
I find it easy to do more than one thing at once.
Hell no.
I can multitask, actually. I'm pretty good at it.
I can multitask. I'm not good at it.
I'm working on a new record while building a tabletop game. So like I love to multitask. I got like 16 Merc tracks, by the way. I'm probably just gonna shelf a whole record and start over.
Ooh, speaking of Merc tracks, I played it in the background of the babies hatching. And Facebook pulled my shit for copyright, and I was like, "Hey, I had permission."
You definitely have permission. That's some old bullshit. If it's a copyright strike through KPM, if you manage to get through any of my remasters or reworks, let me know, because KPM shouldn't be striking any of that. I own those now. Those are mine. Those are. I
don't know what it was. Facebook was like, if you don't turn off that music, we're gonna shut you down. And I was like, fuck you. And then they shut me down.
Yeah, because there's reworks that they specifically, like, that version of the rework or remaster is mine now because it's for an art project. So they signed off on it, so I've got documentation. Don't go away with the copyright strikes, YouTube.
Leave me alone.
They are copyright striking most of my streams for one thing or another. If you go back and listen to the Hangout in particular, there's at least 10 seconds missing from every episode.
What?
Yeah, there's just at least 10 seconds missing from every episode.
Oh,
there's something that their algorithm catches that is not by any in any country's laws considered copyright infringement that they are flagging. This algorithm is broken and sucks, and they're constantly trying to demonetize people based on the algorithm's findings. And it's like, dude, stop. I do nothing that's not fair use here. It's not like I play a whole Zeppelin song and say it was mine. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like,
Right.
or the Pirates of the Caribbean theme while we're talking about and frequently pausing through Johnny Depp coverage. Like,
That's such bullshit.
that's such a bullshit copyright claim. Let people fucking stream. Like, it's bizarre. And, you know, Twitch, you don't have these issues. Facebook, though, you do. Facebook will pull the stream for
That's who got me was fucking Facebook. I was like, fuck you, Facebook. And then they did it anyway. And I was like, oh.
I don't actually know the state of the videos after they end up on Facebook. I know for a good chunk of the streams, they drop off of Facebook after a certain amount of time because Facebook sucks. And it just disconnect, like their server just can't handle, I guess, a 4-hour stream. But yeah, they'll also just pull a stream for the weirdest shit.
Yeah. I had the record playing on Spotify, so I was like, I don't know if that was it, but either way.
I almost guarantee I know what it is lately. It's been it's algorithm driven stuff. They probably think it's the KPM version, and it's not. And it's not.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Made me mad. I was like, hey.
No, I am that good at a rework though, so it will sound like, you know, but no, we can get that cleared up.
Yeah.
Question 33. When I talk on the phone, I'm not sure when it's my turn to speak. I think we can all kind of like agree on that, right?
Yeah.
I mean, all the time is my time to speak.
Yeah, like I like that we're all this way and wouldn't change it for the world. Again, everyone gets time to talk, and I love it.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I never know when it's my time to fucking speak. I enjoy doing things spontaneously.
Yes.
But define doing things, because like I'll go hoot and holler, you know, pretty quick. I don't know. Oh, see, now I already sound like I'm not a spontaneous person with my answer. But
I don't really. I have a plan usually, and I like to do that.
Spontaneity is important, particularly in like romance and stuff like that. Like I am aware with spontaneity as a form of martial arts, if you will, but I don't think I'm a spontaneous person by nature. Actually, now that I think about it.
I like to have a plan, that way I can feel like I can be more spontaneous at the time. You know, like have things, like know when things are due, know the rules of the game or whatever. And then I feel like I can be more spontaneous because I know the plan. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually...
I mean, when it comes to like traveling or something, hello darling, I will plan things loosely. I don't ever set a time on anything because I know I'm gonna be late. And if I set a time on something and I'm late, well, I fucked up the whole trip and everything's bad and wrong, you know?
Yeah.
Yep.
But I am that type of, which is so weird. It's not normal for my good night, Selena. It's not normal for having ADHD, but I am that type of person who will last minute decide to drive to the ocean.
Okay, see, yeah, this is I'm gonna put slightly disagree on spontaneity for myself, because as I'm reading the question, I'm like, well, define doing things. I'm already not spontaneous. I'm already like, well, what do you mean? Do I have to leave my house? Are you talking about, what do you mean? How do you mean spontaneous?
Yeah, I mean, I picked up Derek from work one morning because he was working overnights, and he was like, I'm so tired. And I was like, well, go to sleep. I have things to do, and I'll wake you up when we get home. This boy woke up next to the ocean.
Spontaneity for me is
and he looked over and was like, this is not home. I was like, yeah, you said you'd never seen the ocean before, so we're 14 hours from home.
Yeah, see, I'm not actually spontaneous then. I think I premeditate my, like, oh, look how sweet and spontaneous this is. Like, but no, I've thought about it all day. I've been planning it.
In the eyes of the law, I'm technically premeditated because I will spend 45 seconds going, Yeah, I got an extra $300 for gas. Let's go.
Might as well. Might as well crush it.
Yeah.
Oh, snap. Number 35. I am often the last to understand the point of a joke. No,
me neither.
No, I know it makes my day when I make you guys laugh, and I hope it makes your day when you make us laugh, each of you, because
a good pun,
Yeah.
It's always interesting.
I find it easy to work out what someone is thinking or feeling just by looking at their face. Question 36.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely agree. I'm not face blind.
Yeah, absolutely. I was raised by narcissists. If I can't read your face, I freak out. So I've gotten really good at it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was raised by passive aggressiveness, so I can read the room, like the tone.
I used to get in.
Feel it.
Yeah.
And you're probably in the same boat. I used to get in trouble for not knowing how you were thinking and what you were thinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
Reading everyone's mind. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If there is an interruption, I can switch back to what I was doing very quickly. Question 37.
No.
Yeah, I think we can all say no. We derail and sidetrack all the time. We got evidence on the channel that no.
Shoot.
Question 38. I am good at social chit chat. I'm going to put slightly disagree because I feel like I'm good at it. And when I'm on my game, I'm on my game. And when it's a small group, yes, I love to chit chat. But like, we've already broken down. Like, do I like social chit chat? Yes. Am I good at it? I don't think so. Like, I don't think so. Not lately, in particular. Not me in my current state. Me in this form. If you were to meet me in the street, I might not say anything.
Probably are, but I don't know in normal circumstances. I guess
Yeah.
I guess we were.
Well,
Very, very good.
I can tell I've been quiet. Like particularly at where I work, like there people who pass me every day or have seen me work every day for the last few months. Just now finding out I do things like smoke the occasional cigarette or play music, or you know what I mean. Like I'm quiet. I'm pretty quiet.
I like people like that though.
Yeah. I've it's kind of cool just showing up with secret talents all the time. But at some point, I would imagine
there's always something new.
Yeah, at some point, someone's gonna look at me and be like, "You and owls, dude. Always something new. Stop." Like, no, I got a lot of things that I ambidextrous, snap with all my fingers. I got a lot of weird shit that slowly show up in life.
Yeah.
Question 39. People often tell me that I keep going on and on about the same thing.
Yes.
I say it about myself. I stop a lot, and when I notice Lux hasn't responded in a while, I say, "I am so sorry, I'm ranting," and she smiles and says, "Please keep talking. I'm enjoying this conversation." It's like, well, this isn't really a conversation. I'm kind of just ranting. She's like, "Get it out, baby." Yeah. So I people don't often tell me, but I do know that I often do it. Does that mean
I do it a lot?
Yeah.
Yeah, people don't tell me that I do it, but I catch myself doing it. And you'll notice because I will start to rant, and I do it here a lot. I will start to go on, and then I'm like, wait a minute, bitch, you're making the same point over again. They get it.
Yeah.
And I'll be like, anyway.
The question 40 is hilarious to me. When I was young, I used to enjoy playing games involving pretending with other children. I did, and I still do. I'm building a game right now to play pretend with you guys, so I fucking still love it.
I didn't like to play pretend with other people because they always made me make the rules, and then they didn't follow them. Fuck them kids.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I was seen bossy too. Same. I was like the nag. Like, all right, well, you guys told me to come up with it. Then you guys the rules.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Ooh. Now I'm getting called out, I feel like. Question 41. I like to collect information about categories of things.
Yes.
That's me to a fault. Like, you could just rewind this stream and see how I'm like that. I already admitted to being like that.
Yeah, I have notebooks of things. I told you that before. I have notebooks of just information, sometimes on dumb shit that I'm never going to use, but it was cool at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh, see, 42, I feel like I don't have a problem with. Question 42 is, I find it difficult to imagine what it would be like to be someone else. Like,
I don't have that.
I feel like I'm good at putting myself in other people's shoes.
Yeah.
I genuinely do. I try to do it all the time. I've had people tell me at work, like
almost too much for me. Like I almost overthink things because I imagine what it's like for them.
I genuinely try to get some perspective on what someone's going through. I've been so upset with people in my past that that's genuinely like the only way I can logically move forward is I have to put myself in their shoes and see what they're aggrieved about. And that's a big part of me growing as a person, as a youth, was learning how to do that. I used to not do that at all. I wasn't able to fathom what it was like for other people. And I genuinely spent years doing the mental exercise of like, once I got to know somebody in my head, what is their day like? If they're pissy at work, what's their life like? What can I potentially say? It's actually something I'm dealing with a coworker right now, where he just comes in a bad attitude. It is a laborious job, but everyone else in the team wants to have a good time. We're all laughing and gotten to the point where we all know each other now, and we're having a good time. And it's like, while I am pissed at this dude for killing the vibe all the time, I genuinely try my best to like find the thing that maybe he would want to hear.
Yep.
That can maybe
I
help.
do it in a way that's just not, it's not healthy. And I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and I can't remember if it was Justin or not, but like, I can justify anything because I will put myself in someone else's shoes and try to understand why they did what they did, why they said what they said.
I can overthink it to death. Like spend a whole weekend ruminating on
Yeah.
and then come Monday find out that it was a flippant comment. She didn't even mean it, and I shouldn't have wasted my whole life thinking about it, really. But
yeah, and I catch myself doing it with like, because I'm super into true crime, I will do it with the most heinous of people.
Me too.
The most heinous of people. I'm like, it wasn't cool, but I understand why you did it. You know, I understand your way of thinking. And people always look at me like, excuse me? And I'm like, no. Don't get me wrong. Fuck him or her, whoever. But like, he did it because blah, 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 you know? And I can at least understand while I don't necessarily agree.
Right. You don't excuse it, but here's the explanation.
Oh, I'm so excited, Selena, for this guys. Oof.
Sorry.
No.
Sorry.
Oh, no. I didn't mean it like that. Fucking. Oh shit! Now I lost my thought. Damn it! I just had.
It's my fault.
Oh,
you know what?
Question 43. Check this one. I like to plan my activity. I like to plan any activities I participate in carefully. Me, no. You guys are involved in an activity right now. I put no planning into. I found a meme online. Had a plan from Selena to do the AQ50 at least an hour into the show, but I don't do any streams really with a plan at all, unless there's like an active manhunt going or something like that, or a game I'm playing. Like,
I love a plan.
I
love a plan.
I can't get too bogged down in planning because I never trust that it'll happen.
I wish I didn't.
I never trust that it'll actually happen. I have to hit go live now myself, or I just don't trust that the content will happen. And it's not anybody else, that's me. Because if I get that way, I probably won't do it. Like, I'm very disappointed in myself with like the amount of true crime and chats I've been able to actually pop out while working. Like, it's not that many, and I hate that I've done it in such a serious format. And I don't know how to make I don't even know what to name a true crime stream that's not as serious. And I don't know if I could even do one that's jovial without having an immense amount of guilt. You know what I mean? Like, I've had a weird time with like the planning a stream. Like, I kind of prefer it to just be whatever the fuck happens at this point. Like, or like go in with an idea where it's still basically improv, but like the premise is we're going to get together, play a role-playing game, or like, I really liked the Savile True Crime in Chat, where it's like I went off of Wikipedia, had a timeline, but I didn't necessarily, things could go off. We could get silly if we needed to. We could speculate. With like the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard True Crime in Chat I want to do with Arianthe, I want to genuinely go through the timeline and use the timeline as like just an anchor point to bring us back. You know what I mean? Like, still keep things fluid. You know, this is
planned.
Yeah.
Like, you know, the beginning, middle, end, like what are the key things we need to hit? You know, I think a lot of it for me comes from steps of service and hospitality and taking that seriously. And like, you just want to prepare for business and mise en place and everything in its place so that you can have more freestyle time to hang and have fun, you know?
I've become such a improv performer. Honestly, like there's I prefer it that way. I write a lot of my music really off the top of my head as I'm practicing. I do a lot of stuff in a way that's very like, you just have to be there to catch it, or you're gonna miss it, kind of thing. Like, and I like that I realize now that like that's kind of how I have to do a stream. Like that's me on streams like that. I prefer it to be kind of improv-y. If we have a plan, I want it to be more like an anchor point. Like we're all welcomed to deviate and go off, and I don't know. It's so hard. In true crime, it's hard to apply that kind of mentality to a true crime stream.
Yes.
For myself, because I feel bad. Like there were Brian Laundrie streams where at the end of it, I just felt bad that I had such a good time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
not honor the victim right as well, you know, and the situation. It's hard to know that you served the rightful purpose, I guess.
And for me, there's a level of like, you know, it's silly to use the words, but I do end up on local news in different places occasionally, where journalistic integrity is a little bit of something that I do think about sometimes. And it's so like
human life or whatever. It's important. Some decorum, some care, you know.
I wonder if you guys have noticed the last 4 or 5 or last 2 or 3 streams of the Hangout, I've only been covering entertainment news. I'm only covering entertainment news now. Like if we're gonna do crime, we're gonna do a true crime in chat, and I'm gonna really tool out and find the way to make the most out of that while also retaining an audience and my own conscience. You know what I mean? Like I really like what we have going on. I just need to find that extra added, like, this is okay to be jovial occasionally, and it still sit well with me, because that's what makes all this worth it, is like us having a good time together. That's genuinely like why I keep doing it, is like I miss my friends, you know, like I want us to have a good time. Like, so I gotta find the perfect way to incorporate true crime into that so we can get our views and we can all keep growing, because honestly that's where the attention is for this channel, is true crime. But damn do I have a love-hate relationship with it. Like I love to watch true crime, but you don't realize till you become a true crime streamer that what you love about true crime is watching old unsolved mysteries and talking shit and all the old haircuts.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like I am an active watcher, and I like to roast things as I watch it, and I'm going to tell you look ridiculous if you show up looking ridiculous. If you say something ridiculous, I'm going to call you out. Like, there's got to be a comedic edge to true crime, and I got to find a way to find the balance. So if you guys happen to have any light bulb moments, feel free to shoot me a message, or any name ideas for a stream that would imply that it's a more lighthearted true crime thing. Feel free to shoot them my way. I'm in open development for that right now. Like I want to retool true crime and chat, you know, to be more, even maybe something that we could pull and put on Spotify, you know, and like make a podcast out of it. But moving on, question 43. I got to get off this stream soon. I'm rolling hammer today. I like to plan any activities I participate. Oh wait, I already said no. Definitely disagree. I know y'all like to. I don't. I can't. I don't do that shit.
I do.
They keep asking this one at nauseum. Question 44 is, I enjoy social occasions.
I do. I feel like I've already answered that.
Yeah, I feel like I've already said no. Slightly agreed. Slightly disagree. I do like some social occasions. I find it difficult to work out people's intentions.
No.
You know, that's actually I'm a paranoid person, so that's actually what I spend a lot of my time, like in my unhealthy thought thoughts, like when somebody says something that I might misconstrue as mean to me, I'm second guessing their intentions in my life, like why they're even in my life. You know what I mean? Like I absolutely, I find it hard to figure out what someone, and nobody, again, this is from a place of paranoia, because why would there be an intention? Someone just wants to be your friend. There's no intention. I've been friends with somebody. There's no intention there. He's trying to get anything out of you. I don't have anything room to take. Why do I feel that way? But I do, like, it's one of those, I have to genuinely say those things to myself in my head sometimes, a lot, like quite a lot. Like, why would they?
Derek is like that.
Yeah,
He's very paranoid. He doesn't trust anybody.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this plays into question 46. New situations make me anxious. Definitely agree. I bet Derek is probably the same way, where it's like, this is a whole new.
Absolutely.
Like, I get the first day of school jitters pretty easy.
Yeah, so does he. He doesn't like anything new. So like going to a new restaurant, he's not into it. Going to a new place to watch a movie, not into it. He will go. He's just nervous.
Yeah.
Because he doesn't know what to expect. It's not the people. It's not the thing. It's just I don't know this.
It's the open ocean terrified. To us. It's the open ocean. Like I genuinely look at some things that I'm walking into as if it were the open ocean. Like I have that kind of fear toward it. Like it could be anything. I could be walking into anything. I enjoy meeting new people is question 47. I do enjoy meeting new people. It is so weird. I'm introverted, but I do love meeting new people. I really do. I like working door at the theater where I get to talk to everybody and say hi and, tell them to have a good show, get to hear people's niche interests. I like working near the bar, working security and like the last show I worked security, I met an interesting couple that were there for like, they were going to get married the next day. They were there to see the show as like a celebration and cool stuff like that. Like I genuinely, I do genuinely like meeting new people. And I also feel like every person I've met since I've been an adult, since I've gotten clean in particular, has genuinely, even if they were a shitheel that I kicked out of my life, gave me something to move forward in my life. Genuinely taught me something in some way, like handed me knowledge or the hindsight of them being a shitheel developed me in a way to be a little tougher toward a certain aspect of humanity. I genuinely enjoy meeting new people. I feel like I get a lot out of it. And my goal is to genuinely be a mensch to anybody new that I meet. I try to do a mitzvah a day. I try to be nice to people. And I want to be, I would love for somebody to leave of having just met me or our first conversation and have the same feeling I do with a lot of the people I meet for the first time, which is, I'm so glad I met them. What an interesting story. What an interesting, I wonder, spend a little time in my head putting myself in their shoes, there's just, that's what I like and want and hope other people enjoy that from me.
Absolutely.
48. I am a good diplomat. I feel like I can be. I feel like I've talked down some. I mean, look, my part-time job is breaking up fistfights at shows. So I kind of feel like I've really even hammered it even a little better lately. I've been around some people who, watching the way they de-escalate a situation has really given me some tools to be able to de-escalate a situation verbally. And that's the goal when you're working security. I want to use my words. I really don't want to have to drag you out of here. I would just like you to not be crazy, So I'm going to slightly agree to that because I feel like I can be a decent diplomat if I'm genuinely just wanting things to go back to peace. You know what I mean? If we're talking diplomat in the context of like you're trying to be an arbiter of peace, I've been there. I am not very good at remembering people's date of birth. Fucking definitely agree. I don't remember any of y'all's birthdays. I love you all.
No, I know you're in February. That's what I know.
Yeah, yeah. People whose birthdays I remember. My sister's kids, my kid, my putrid ex-wife, my current girlfriend. End of list. Myself, my own birthday. End of list. End of list. I feel like I would have forgotten
my birthday a lot.
If I didn't have to use it for documentation, I'd just miss the day entirely. I wouldn't even notice.
Well,
I would have forgotten it.
my youngest and I have the same birthday. So when people ask me for my birthday, I always tell them his, and they're like, "You're 5," and I'm like,
That would be a tough one when you just fall back on the year your son was born. It's like, nope, wait, replace that with late 80s, early 90s. Don't worry about it. Replace it with 2000.
Replace that 16 with a 90.
Let's replace that. I just realized I called you out on your age. I meant to say what I meant was 2000.
No, it's fine. I'm 31.
I meant 2006 when Arianthe was born. I find it very easy to play games with children that involve pretending. Fuck yeah. Easy. Dude, I can play games with kids all day. I don't know.
I don't know why.
I can go any age too. Like your son on my lap when you guys were visiting that time. We were just talking colors.
Yeah.
That was the best time I had all day.
He was like, "Look at this orange thing."
Yeah.
We're just like, "Yeah, man, orange is cool. What else is orange?" And he's like, "An orange."
Yeah, like
I love those games with kids. That's my favorite too. I love it.
Oh, genuinely one of
my kids are just crazy.
I can deep dive about unicorns, fairies, like whatever.
Yeah.
But I can't do it. I don't know why. I can't do it. I just can't.
I love their little brains and their imaginations. It makes me happy.
Oh yeah.
I love to hear them play, and I love to watch them play, and I love to sit and just listen to my kids tell me things.
Yeah.
But when it comes to like, "Mom, pretend you're this and I'm gonna be this," I'm like, "No, man, we're not doing that."
Oh, I'll put the luchador mask on. I'll be in the trampoline. I've been that uncle, dude.
I don't have any full time, so maybe that's part of it too. Is that I love Auntie Time or any, friends' kids. Oh my god, I love it.
I mean,
and it's not because it annoys me or anything. I wish I could. I just, for some reason, my brain won't do it.
Oh, I get into it though. Like playing with Aiden back in the day. We'd have lightsabers or something.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, how am I going to bop this kid's big ass head with this lightsaber? I'm going to do it. I'm going to whoop that ass, kid. And you're going to know the power of the Sith. You're going to know the dark side by the end of it, bro. I'm going to make you use your hate. I'm going to turn you to the dark side. We're going to play so hard. I love it. Like, I get into it genuinely with kids in particular. If I'm, like my family, I got photos and stuff I'll share at some point of like me wrestling with my sister's kids hard, like we go hammer. Trampoline, luchador masks. I'm talking we've had some fun pretend times, sword fights, all of it. But guys, it's score time. It's score time. We got to find out.
Drum roll.
Drum roll. Yeah, I have an actual drum roll. Oh, that's a punchline, not a drum roll. No drum roll, just a punchline. Okay. The fine then soundboard. We'll just we'll hit score and we'll do the tumbleweed then. All right, let's check out the total. I got 26.
I did too.
So did Lux.
I thought she said 28. Right?
Oh, she might have said 28. Yeah. Well, mine's 26. So 26 out of 50. So I might be mildly somewhere.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Mine's 27. I'm a jackass. It's 27.
Right in between them.
AS/HFA total is 35. My controls total is 16. Sorry, it gives you like kind of a little bit more of a breakdown. Olympiad total is 24. Okay, so here we go. Mean AQ scores for student scientist. Oh, wild. Okay, so 14 in biological sciences, 21 in computer science, 17 in engineering, 21 in mathematics, 15 in medicine, 19 in physical sciences, and 18 in non-specific science. Okay. I mean, look, general mathematics, the application of to the real world is something I'm actually unusually passionate about. I may be a little more numbers obsessed than I answered on the questionnaire, but that kind of goes back to patterns, to know something broadly, you know what I mean? Like general mathematics. Validity, how reliable, accurate, and valid update is the test. Yeah, they found it to be okay. In 2017, the following items were proven unrepresentative measures of autistic traits, thus needing revision. Question 9 and question 21 were revised at some point in time. Researchers thought that autistic people would disagree with the following questions, but again, we don't necessarily. 29, I am not very good at remembering phone numbers. 30, I don't usually notice small changes in a situation or a person's appearance. 49, I am not very good at remembering people's date of birth. So yeah, I guess autistic people would disagree with those. I mean, I kind of, yeah. All right, let's see here. Do I have any more details?
Interesting.
Do I have any more? You don't give me any more details. What does my score mean? The AQ doesn't really offer much insight into specific autistic traits, as it only outputs a single score. Any score of 26 or greater indicates the presence of autistic traits. The higher the score, the more autistic traits you have. Furthermore, 79.3% of autistic people score 32 or higher, whereas only 2% of controls do. So scores of 32 and above are particularly significant. The AQ is particularly sensitive in distinguishing between autistic and non-autistic adult females, as 92.3% of autistic females scored 32 or higher compared to 1% of the control group. Do note that no single test is conclusive, and not every autistic person necessarily scores above the defined threshold on each test. If you score low on the AQ but still think you could be autistic, try taking a few other autism tests. Recommended next steps. After the AQ, consider taking one of the tests below. The RADS are the CAT Q and the ASPE quiz. Well, guys.
Oh.
Should we next stream maybe do a little Genshin Impact and take another quiz, see if I have more autistic traits? I'm not at that 32. None of us are at that 32. So we're not like
32.
You know, so that means, you know, it's probably whatever is mild. I don't have that many like outward traits according to that quiz, but we'll just maybe have to do some more quizzing and see what goes on. You know what I mean? See what's going on.
That's really interesting. It's kind of interesting because I'm like, I know I'm on the spectrum. I got diagnosed by 3 doctors because in the state of Arkansas you have to.
Yeah.
So it's a very interesting score.
I'm thinking I've opened up a lot this stream in particular about just the things mentally and emotionally I have going on, and I kind of expected a higher score. I won't lie. I didn't expect myself to be necessarily that typical. I won't lie. I've been.
You sound bummed, though, my guy.
I do.
You sound legitimately disappointed.
I was like, man, well, just continue down. Well, yeah, I don't have an autism to blame everything on. I'm kidding, but part of my brain is like, well, surely that would explain a little bit of what's been going on post-COVID for sure. But I think it just might genuinely be PTSD. I think I might just genuinely be dealing with flashbacks and nightmares and stuff like that. I think I might.
Now, something that that I noticed is that you were answering questions the same way Derek did, because I had Derek do this because I wanted to know, but I wanted to take it with you. You were answering questions the same way Derek answered questions almost entirely.
Yeah.
He has borderline personality.
See, I've always wondered if there's something like that, and it's not on the autistic spectrum, because I know I have manic depression. I know I'm up and down, which comes with its own, lanes of issues. But for the most part, I feel like I have built such a reliable like go-to for myself when I'm down over the last few years that's just been kind of destroyed, and I've had to rebuild it the last couple of years. But I don't know. I thought for sure I would be hitting closer to a 30 or something like that, because I'm a strange dude. I'm also just a weirdo. It's like,
You're not.
You're just taking too much hallucinogens. That's all, my God.
I have taken a lot of hallucinogens.
It's okay. It's okay.
What up, lady?
Hey.
You got going on? Mwah. I got a 26.
A 26?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So ladies are looking for a 32, we read. Most was it 79.3% of the people diagnosed with autism scored a 32 or higher. And what was it, like 98% of the females that took it that were diagnosed also scored over a 32. So
I got a 27, but I was diagnosed 3 times.
yeah. So now I'm wondering if maybe, I don't know, food for thought. I'm gonna take it to a doctor probably at some point, but I'm kind of interested in more of these quizzes. This is interesting. So
yeah, I wonder if there's one that can like, hey, these are traits of this kind of thing, instead of just focusing on one specific area.
Yes.
I wonder if that would be too broad, because there's so many things that have overlapping, signs and symptoms.
I feel like even if there was an automated version of that, they'd probably have doctors still administer the test. You know what I mean? Because that gets so close to like diagnosing. I think, well, I'm actually hopeful. I'm pretty glad that maybe it's just stuff that's reparable within me, or things that come from my upbringing,
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's some weirdness there that just comes from not just the trauma of the last 3 years, but like everything else, everything else from my background. My entire origin story maybe shaped me to feel a little strange, but I'm not. I'm average.
Very much so. It's been very interesting listening to you, though, knowing that Derek answered these almost exactly the same, and for the same justifications. His fear of abandonment, his feeling of not being, full enough, fulfilled, and stuff like that.
Yeah. I think there might be something to that. I'm now mentioned also in borderline personality disorder.
Paranoia.
I want to say I've been tested for BPD and don't have BPD.
Self-harm, drug addiction.
Yeah, but those ones, that doesn't mean that, I don't know, that I haven't.
They overlap. So many things overlap. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, guess what? You actually have. I'm not going to do that. Not qualified, first of all.
Well, I'm going to go forward in the world knowing that anybody who says I vibe like I'm autistic and they're like, you're autism, like, probably not.
Probably not. Maybe I'm just weird.
But I do have things going on. So while I am definitely neurodivergent, like diagnosed in the past, but it's always like manic depression or, I'm just an addict. So like that's another thing that the HS, they put me on behavioral medications because it's such a daunting diagnosis and like how severe it was for me. They kind of the go-to thing is to kind of juice the dude up with serotonin and really hope he doesn't feel like life is futile, but damn, what a day. I was expecting higher, gang. That's the lowest score I've gotten on a multiple choice test since the driving test, dude. I'll fail that shit quick. I'm nervous around the cops.
Kind of weird is all. You just got to keep trying.
Oh yeah. Well, and there's I'm at the end of the day glad it's not something that is necessarily that black and white to figure out. I do like a mystery, and I do again like I hope everybody's maybe gotten the impression or the implication through my words here. Like I do always assume there's something else I can learn or do or change about myself that makes it better for the world to be around me. And that's genuinely my goal with finding any of this out is I've noticed things about myself, like my social awkwardness, my just introversion, fear of abandonment, my attachment issues, things like that. Like, I want to
complex layered cocktail in all of us. It's not just what nurture or nature. It's a both, and it's things that we were raised by, plus things that are neurologically just in our brain.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot of things.
Yeah. Well,
except for me, I'm perfect.
That's it. He's like, I got 20/20 eyesight, guys. I don't need no. But that, man, what a time. I'm genuinely gonna try to just again take this experience how to take the best out of it that I can. That was a good amount of introspection to do with other people. Thank you guys so much for your words today, by the way. Allie, Arianthe, Justin, Chief Evenway showed up, made me laugh. You guys, again, this is why I do it. You guys really made my day. And thank you for being here for me while I open up emotionally. Shit's probably awkward, but I noticed people didn't seem too offended.
I don't think it's awkward.
Cool that we can start talking about these things more openly, and not feel it is vulnerable, but it's not bad. It's not
Normalize it.
Yeah. I say normalize conversations where you're being honest about mental health. If anybody's feeling like they need to take this quiz, please do. It's called the AQ50. Google it. You'll find one. Go to a doctor afterward if you, again, are experiencing issues like I am, where there's like just social stress, anxiety. I'm having issues I've never really had in my life and feelings I haven't felt since I was a teenager. And it's concerning to me anyway. It's definitely caused, I'm sure everyone's noticed the lack of productivity on the channel. That's a big part of it, is the way I've been feeling. So anybody who's feeling weird, get help, talk to somebody, find friends like I've got, come talk to us, we'll be your friends.
I'll be your friend.
Normalize these kinds of conversations because they're better for humanity in the long run, right?
It's a great example to set, Murk. Thanks for allowing us to be a part of it. I love it.
Thank you guys for inspiring it. Thank you, Selena. This was Selena's idea. Turned me on to the quiz. I would have done it last stream, but was like already so far in the stream. I was like, I'm gonna give a whole stream the AQ50. We still did news and caught up, but
great.
Oh, I see that link there, Arianthe.
I got you.
Oh yeah, everybody. Take the quiz if you feel so inclined. If you feel like maybe you might be on the spectrum somewhere, or you suffer from manic depression, or you have this or that. Open up, you little clam. Anyway.
There's a great channel that
Give us your pearl.
Give us the pearl. Let us see your humanity.
They've got little animated shorts, and it's a great company otherwise called the School of Life. And it's like a modern philosopher, his take on things. And, he's got like why you will marry the wrong person and, why this, that, whatever, just a lot of things that they put into little clips, animated clips that help make sense of things that you've wondered about,
Yeah.
They do a lot of, I listen to their book, An Emotional Education, because we're not taught how to deal with emotions. And it's really insightful, but they've got a lot of great books and tools on their website too, for work and for home, and just things when you feel awkward about something. They really have great explainers.
That's awesome. Give us some links. Drop some links in the Discord or in the chat, and everybody check that out. Everybody check that out. I'm excited. I'll see you guys around the corner for the next stream. I should be around. I got kind of a busy weekend coming up, but by the beginning of next week, we should be rolling. So
yes,
I'll see you guys right around the corner. I'll probably be here tomorrow for one, maybe. We'll see how I'm feeling. We'll see what's going on. I might get called in for something. Who knows? You never know. If I end up working a shift, I probably won't stream. But Chief, Allie.
It happened already.
Oh, man. Wait, what? What did you just say?
Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already.
Oh, snap. Yes! Do it now. Like, share, subscribe, guys. We gots to. It really helps us with the algorithm. Also, check out the links in the description of this video plenty of deals for you out there. BarkBox, Battery Ship, NordVPN. We got you. We got you hooked up, guys. I've got everybody's at the credits here, so I'm just going to say I love you all in the Discord. Chief, Arianthe, Alley Cats, Justin, I saw you slide up in and out of here, but I love you. And Chief, I don't know if you heard the show earlier. I pitched a tabletop game that I am building, and if you'd like to be a part of it, I'd definitely love that.
I literally hopped in a few minutes ago, but send me a message or something, man. I'll read it.
Damn straight. All right. I'll talk to you guys later.
Later.
Bye.
And everybody out there in digital world, I love you guys. Again, like, share, subscribe. It really helps. And I'll see you around the corner.